Wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hey, welcome back to the show. This is episode 958. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the big show. This mic is 958. Glad to be back. Glad to be here first thing this morning. Glad to be here for a new week. I'm glad to be here with Steeler fans. I'm glad to be here. I'm just glad to be here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Such a busy weekend for our Pittsburgh sports, and it came out pretty successful for most of the part. We'll get into all this today. A lot to get into. We're going to get you caught up on all the Steeler scoop from over the weekend, guys. Some things are starting to fall into place for the Steelers. They are just getting ready this weekend. Friday, they will be starting rookie camp on May 18. May 18, they will be starting OTAs. And then on June 2nd, they'll be starting mandatory mini camps. So much going on for our Steelers. So much going on around town as the Steelers try to put together a new football team so they can compete this upcoming 2026 season in the NFL. So much going on. However, I do want to talk about, you know what? I'm going to just talk about a couple things here first before we do get rolling, Mike. Of course, the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
Over the weekend, Mike. I didn't know anything about it. I don't really pay too much attention to the Kentucky Derby. However, what I do know is the horse that was picked on the show that I went along with did not win.
Yeah.
Golden Tempo was the horse to win the Kentucky Derby this weekend. Mike, was a topic on the show Friday. We talked about it a little bit. And again, I really wasn't going to pay no mind until the board started talking about it. And I did pay mind. I did check it out, Mike. And again, Golden Tempo, they win the big Kentucky Derby over this week. So you're telling me that this is one of three then? There's going to be two more horse races, and that's how they decide. That's how they decide what? What does that even decide?
So really, the three races, the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes, if you win all three of those, you win the Triple Crown.
How often does that happen?
Not that often. Some horses will win 2, and then they fall in the 3rd, or they only race 1 or 2 of them, depending on sometimes the owners aren't expecting that horse to win 1 or 2 of those races. Like, no, we're shutting them down. We didn't think they would win this and keep going, because you never know what you have. Some are just breeding and training to try and win it. Others, trying to win place show. If it happens, it happens. Cool. If not, whatever. So it doesn't happen a whole lot, but when it does, people buzz about it. I never get understood horse racing. I never got into it, but hey, man, if that's your thing, knock yourself out. Because like you said, Ryan, on Friday, it's over. It's boom, done.
Yeah, right.
Boom, done. I ended up watching the race. It was kind of dramatic because the horse that won was damn near last place.
Oh, yeah?
It just drifted up inside and out and cut weaved, and next thing you know, they fucking win.
Oh, that's something. Ain't that something? All I gotta say is Christine better be here today. Other than that, I would have paid probably no attention to the race. As you can tell, my interest as you're telling the story, but I am interested. I truly am. I mean, to know these things, I guess, is a good thing. But there you go, guys. The Kentucky Derby won on Saturday by Golden Tempo. My Golden Tempo. A couple other things I do want to talk about before we do get started today. As a matter of fact, I want to talk about just a minute here. I want to talk about Derpy, because I you know what, I find it very entertaining, Mike, to go over and check his show out on Sunday nights. He has the Nerd Show over on Sunday. And I tell you what, he's a whole show in himself, not in the sense that he knows what he's talking about or that he's you know what I'm saying? He is just totally oblivious, not in the sense of the topic of interest, but just everything going on around him. Have you ever watched this show? I mean, he's picking at his face, he's picking at his nose, and then I'm watching him because at this point I just have to. I'm trying to just see what he does. It's weird, and his finger goes right from his nose to his mouth, and then he's picking at his chin and his hair, and underneath his chin he has like this big bald spot, and I'm like, that's probably because you pick at it constantly. Yeah. He has a whole thing going on. He's sticking his tongue out the side of his mouth, and like I said, it's totally different than everything that's going on with the show, Mike. It's totally separate from everything else that's going on in the show, and I got a big kick out of this. Let me see what else I have here. He was picking at his nose, picking at his beard. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Do go check it out, guys. As I said, Mike, it's entertaining in its own. Just because you're just watching Derpy, and he has some kind of quality. It shows on Sunday nights. Do go check the guys out over at Average Boys podcast. Yeah, here on Sunday nights. Mike, but I do have something here. I did pull up. This is from the show last night. We're gonna get into the Steelers. It's so soon. I swear to you guys. Don't come hunting me down with pitchforks and torches. I just got a couple things I just want to share with you real quick before we do get started, because I think I'm watching this show last night, Mike, and I really feel that it's worth it. And I thought to myself, you know what? There's no way I'm not going to play these tomorrow. So just a couple things, if I can just pull it up here, just a moment. Give me a second here, and we're going to listen to just two short clips because I mean, we get on Derpy because of his titties here, right? Yeah, it's just something that we do, and it was funny because it crossed the line and it went to their show over there. And I thought this was funny. So if I could just pull this up to where I need it to be, it would be fantastic to share this.
Derpy and his terrible titties.
Him and the terrible titties. And again, like it's just funny that this carries over to, across the line.
Derpy's terrible titties know no boundaries.
They don't know boundaries.
Definitely his shirt. They tend to escape that his shirt on multiple occasions.
All right, so let me start here. All right, so this is about 5 seconds until the clip I'm actually looking for, but do pay attention to what the people in this show are saying, if you will. Here we go.
Right now, it's the anniversary this Wednesday. So
good, man. What's your MO? What are you gonna do for your anniversary, dude? One, we know you're going to take off your shirt.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we're doing Derpy. Show them titties, dude.
Show them titties, baby. Show them the knocks.
Yeah. Show them the knocks, man. Roll them. What do you have planned?
And then there's a second part to it. If you'll just give me a moment, Mike. There's a second part to it. It's just about a minute later, so I just have to get to the timestamp here.
That is great that they just jumped right into it.
They love it.
Oh, man. That's what you have to do with Derpy. You have to just embrace his titties.
Yeah,
I find it for the best.
In the most heterosexual way.
Yes. No
Just
homo.
Embrace his titties. Just give me another moment here.
Just embrace them. Just motorboat them.
Just motorboat.
You name one Drew Allar, you name the other titty Will Howard, and you just get right in between them, and you just motorboat.
And you just start smacking them together.
And whichever one leaves like the bigger bruise on your face, that might be how we decide who the quarterback is.
Yeah. Mike, also, if you want to talk about the Pittsburgh Passion, they won 56-14 over the Inferno of Tampa Bay. Mike, that kicks off their season in the WFA, the Pittsburgh Passion, of course, our gals. You want to talk about that for a moment? I'm almost set on this last piece here, and then we'll roll.
Yeah, the Passion, man, picking up where they left off in the regular season. My God, this better be a stepping stone for them to bring back the title back to Pittsburgh. It's been a long time since they've won. They've had some really good teams. Makai Chavez is the best quarterback in that league. She was awesome. She's awesome. She was a guest on the show here. I love the Passion. How can you not love them? They are a Pittsburgh sports or a Pittsburgh football team. They will beat your ass, and you will know you were in a dogfight once you get done with that game.
Yeah, Makai Chavez.
I know, right?
She was fantastic when she was on the show last year. Great talking to her. Hopefully that she gets gets the Passion up to where they need to be, Mike, and get it back at it this year again. All right, so here we go. This is the second clip from last night from the Average Boys podcast. This is about Derpy again. Guys, do pay attention.
Jack, whatever stuff.
Oh,
Jack Fox.
Vince, that's not the first time Derpy went shirtless on stream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I found out deep lore last week, dude. I found this deep lore last week.
He just has a random fucking sports letter on his chest, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
He cuts out the sports letter like.
He's got the Superboy Prime chest, the fucking tattoo, the fucking carved in one that he did when he's like all trapped in the fucking multiverse. Do you remember that shit when they trapped the old man, dude?
So there you go. Paying homage to Derpy and his terrible titties. There you go, guys. I just thought I said it would do no justice if I didn't play that tomorrow on the show. Guys, there you go. Just a little extra Derpy on the Average Boys podcast. Sunday nights, catch Derpy every Sunday night at 9:30 with the Average Boys.
I just love Derpy's titties are everywhere.
And you know what? He's so ADD. You're watching the show, and he's making me uncomfortable. You know, and listen, I'm ADD as well. But as I'm watching the show, I'm getting uncomfortable by how just fidgety he is. He's very fidgety, and again, he makes no attempt to not be fidgety or not pick at his face or not pick at his nose or whatever. But and then the constant rocking back and forth. We all know that he's a whole show within himself, everybody. But do go check him out Sunday nights right here on the Dum Yinzers Network. A couple other things before we do get started. I do want to say this. Where are you at, Mike?
I'm fixing my camera. It's jittery.
This is a very important topic. I have to talk about this for a minute before we do get started.
I'm here.
I have to see you. I can't just. Listen. What are you doing?
See, look, my camera's all jacked up. There we go.
So on Saturday, I pulled off the unthinkable.
Mm-hmm.
They had the marathon comes to town. So on Saturday, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to go run the marathon. And I did. I went down and I ran and I ran and I ran as fast as I possibly could. And I even got myself one of these cool awards, these medals. I'm just playing. You didn't actually think I went down and ran. Guys, my son went and he got this awesome Pittsburgh Marathon medal. But no, I did not do it. I was just wondering how long I could get you to go along with that, Mike. I could tell you weren't buying it almost.
I was not buying it at all.
Was it the part about me running?
Yes, it was the part about you running. The part about you going outside.
Yeah. All right.
When the sun is out.
Sure.
We can get you down to the Steeler games in the evening. We can get you down to Pittsburgh at night. But during the day, no. That's where those two things right there, running in daylight. Mm-mm.
Fair enough. But they had a great turnout down there, and I'm sure if I went, I would be the Usain Bolt of the day, and would have probably broke records. as it all comes to it, but it did not happen that way. I stayed home. Matter of fact, I slept in that day. So no, this is, but it is cool. It is pretty cool.
Heck yeah, man.
Pittsburgh Marathon medals. There you go. A few other things, Mike. The Pittsburgh Pirates for a clean sweep over the Reds this weekend, 9-1, 17-7, and then 1-0. The Pirates beat the Reds all three games, Mike. They improved to 19-16. They'll be off today, back at it tomorrow in Arizona for a 6-game road trip out west. The Diamondbacks on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The Giants Friday, Saturday, Sunday to wrap up the road trip, Mike. Game 1 of 3 tomorrow is a 9:40 start. PM, and it's also Chandler tomorrow. Not Keller, but Skeens on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Mitch Keller will be on the bump. Mike, good news on Jared Jones, of course, one of our starting pitchers. He is in rehab, Mike, throwing 101 miles per hour. I think Jared Jones will be ready to get back on the hill whenever he is called. We are still the best division in baseball, Mike. No teams under 500 in the division. So we will take that, Mike. But I think the big news is this. This is the big news. When it's Saturday this week, the baseball season will be a quarter of the way over.
Holy shit.
Right?
That's actually flying by.
This Saturday.
That's insane, man.
This Saturday, baseball will be a quarter of the way over. Now, let me put this into perspective for you. The Steelers are playing in the fourth quarter of the Pirates season. So as fast as this went, think about that. I just think PGH&M was just going down to the opener. Quarter of the way through the season this Saturday. And again, the Steelers play preseason football. And even in the September, Mike, in the fourth quarter of this baseball season. So that's how close we are. It's creeping up fast. A lot of things this offseason is certainly keeping our mind, our attention drawn. But isn't that crazy? It's a quarter of the way through this season. And again, the Steelers will be playing before the Pirates are done. So if you look at it that way, guys, it should be here before you know it. The Pirates, Mike, second in runs scored in the whole entire Major League Baseball, which is crazy. And here's one other interesting number I got. The 15 hits that the Pirates gathered on Saturday in a matter of 3 innings in the 17-7 win, that 15 hits is more hits than Brian Hayes has all season long, which is who we traded away to the Reds last year. So just some interesting scoop on that.
I remember when we traded him, Bucco fans were kind of crashing out. Like, oh my God, this guy, how can you get rid of him? He's a cornerstone. And right move was made.
I agree. Also, Mike, we didn't mention the Pittsburgh Passion kicks it off this weekend in Tampa Bay. They win 56-14. They'll be back at it next Saturday as they travel to D.C. to take on the Divas. That's a 6 o'clock start on Saturday. Mike, the only team that did not win out of our Berg teams this week was the Riverhounds. They lose 1-0 to Phoenix Rising on Saturday. They're back at it at Louisville City FC this coming Saturday at 7. Also, Mike, the Pittsburgh Riveters, the female soccer team, they'll be kicking off their season this coming Saturday. They'll be hosting the FC Buffalo squad. That's a 7 o'clock start, Mike, and that is the first game of their season. A lot of black and gold going on right now here in Pittsburgh. And again, this gets you through. It gets you through. And if you're having a hard time getting by without your football, the UFL, albeit not what the NFL is, but it is football, guys. American League football, American rules football. I'm sorry. This was how it played out, Mike, on Friday. Houston loses 24-17 to Columbus. Saturday, DC beats the Renegades 24-6. And finally, on Sunday, Birmingham beats Orlando 20-17 to wrap up week 6. So another way to kind of put it into perspective how fast time is going in this offseason, like they're already in week 7 of the UFL season of 10, 7 of 10. So again, you could look at those and kind of monitor and say, okay, this is scooting right along for us. And I got to be honest with you, Mike, I'm kind of thrilled with it because the Steelers will be here before you know it. But I do want to say this before we do get things rolling for the day. And I hate this, but I'm going to say, may the 4th be with you.
Oh, wow. You went there.
Be with you.
May the 4th be with you. I'm surprised Derpy did not beat down the doors to be on the show today since it is Star Wars Day. And all these things you're talking about, all these sports being almost over, it just tells me training camp is right around the corner, brother.
I agree, Mike. I mean, this is May 4th already, so come on, 2 months from today is July 4th. Think about that. And that's like, past halfway. That's kind of the official midsummer date. So 2 months from today will be July 4. He'll be here before you know it. And one other thing I do want to say before we do get started, Mike, NCAA gals and guys both looking to change to 76 teams in the big tournament, Mike. Coming into this year, they had the 64, and then they added the 4, and then it was 68. So now it's 76. NCAA next March we'll be switching that to 76 teams.
I hate that. I hate it. I hated the playing games. I'm going to hate the 76 teams. 64 was nice. Perfect amount. You don't need to make it any bigger, but you know what? They want to make more money, so you know it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's almost like, why even play a regular season at this point? You're going to get to 70, whatever. Then you're going to go to 80. Then you're going to have, at some point, they'll have 100 teams in there. You might as well just not even play a season. Just lump them all in there and play every game's a round robin. And you figure it out until the one team left. It's stupid the way this is going.
Without further ado, Mike, let's get into the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's talk some about Drew Darts. As I'm seeing, some are calling him comparable to the Danny Dimes. I hope it doesn't stick. I don't like Drew Darts. It doesn't roll off your tongue like Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes rolls. Danny Dimes just rolls right off the tongue. Drew Darts. I've seen him being referred to this week, Mike. Also, and there's a lot of things to get into today. Let's start right here. I just wanted to mention this, guys. As far as I know, it's got to be coming real soon. I mean, it may have already, but I don't know if it's been published yet. I do know this. Last week we were asked, when does the rookies get their numbers? I know 2 of them. I looked into it this weekend, and they didn't have the new numbers selected, which is crazy for a couple reasons. But Mad Max is going to be number 71. Mm-hmm. Our first pick, we do know, and we also know our last pick as well. Eli, Mike, he's going to be number 29. So we know the first pick and the last pick in the draft, their numbers. Everybody else in the middle, we don't know. However, with rookie camp starting this Friday, I tend to think they're going to want to put a practice jersey on some of these guys, perhaps, with a number on it. So maybe we will be learning what their numbers are here by the end of the week. And I also do want to say, Mike, we're only a couple weeks out. I know that it's usually around mid-May, 14th through the 18th, they do release the NFL schedule for the season. So that should be coming up here in another 10 days or so, give or take, just depending on when they do decide to release it. However, we do still have a little bit of a wait, Mike, but all these things are kind of indicating that it's getting close. We're moving right along. The offseason is just moving along, and we're right here with it, Mike, with all these indicators. And, here we are. Here we be.
Pretty soon we are going to hear pads a popping, helmets a cracking. I can't wait for that. I miss seeing NFL players hit each other with anger and aggression. I need that in my veins right now. I need it.
Absolutely. Today the theme is going to be Howard versus Allar, guys. The big conversation. Some interesting things went down over the weekend, Mike. Some rumors that we may have competition.
Yeah,
for Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, Mike, Arizona is showing some interest in Aaron. They went out and got themselves a quarterback. I think they got a quarterback. Yes, they got a quarterback in the draft. But Mike, Aaron Rodgers, it's being talked about that Arizona Cardinals are now interested. However, we did place that tag on them last week, so we're kind of safe in either way. But at the end of the day, I mean, are they just getting Aaron Rodgers fatigued? I know that I kind of am. And I don't know, talk a little bit about the Arizona interest in, again, Mike, they said it wasn't going to be like last year. Last year was June. We're only less than a month away from June.
Yeah, they said it wasn't going to be like last year. It's shaping up to be like that. But, all indications are the way they drafted it was the perfect blend of cool. Aaron comes back, we got these weapons. If he doesn't come back, cool. But we got these young guys to figure out if they can be the man or not. And we got all these weapons in the draft and free agency. So I think they're protecting themselves there for the present and the future. And looking at the Cardinals, why the fuck would he go to the Cardinals? Their offensive line is not that good. The receiving core is not that good. I'm sorry, OSU fans. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not living up to the billing. You got Jeremiah Love, I loved in the draft. I thought he was like the best player in the draft. That's all you got. Defense isn't that good. coach staff isn't that good. I think you got one of the Kiffins or some shit, whoever's down there now, one of the hot young commodities that keeps bouncing around the NFL as the head coach. Why would you go there in your last year to a team that finished 3-14?
I mean, come on. There's nothing there for him. Like, all the talk, why would he come here? Do we have an offensive line? Do we have weapons? I just don't. In the big picture, I don't see it. If it happens, I guess it happens. But I'm not too taken by this at all. At all. Again, because we do kind of have we have the inside track on him if we do want to go that route. But if it goes beyond, at the end of the day, at this point, listen. I'm a big proponent of this. If you have to figure out how to win, do it. And again, he's not going to be able to bail them out 2 years from now when we're playing with rookies, whenever we're playing with a second year guy, when we're playing whatever the deal is, down the road. He's only going to be here, let's just say, a year if he does come back. So again, you got to take your lumps. And again, what do you learn if you don't make mistakes? If everything is just perfectly set for you. So again, Mike, I'm okay with again, we're going to talk about Drew Allar and Will Howard today, the big competition. I was hoping to get Derpy here today. Matter of fact, he said he was going to be on. He may still pop in because, again, he is, of course, the Will Howard guy, being an Ohio State fan, and yourself being a Penn State guy. I would have liked to have you two go head-to-head, but Derpy seems to always bail out on his end of the deals. That's one thing I noticed about Derpy. Whenever there's a deal or something we figure out, it's all good when it's about him, but whenever it's time for him to give, he drops the ball. He fumbles, if you will.
He does.
But I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to go on about Derpy. Go ahead, just quick comment on Derpy, and we're going to move along.
No, he is the Deontay Johnson of the podcast.
He is. He runs backwards, this guy.
He runs backwards.
Yeah, right. Come on. So much going on today, guys. I do want to say this, though. Some interesting news. So we did get word that Arizona was interested in Aaron. However, we also did get word this weekend that Aaron was asking Coach Mike McCarthy about the practice specifics as they are coming, Mike. And again, just the 18th. We're just 2 weeks away from the OTAs. Again, June 2nd, less than a month away till mandatory minicamp. Rookies again in this Friday through Sunday. So Aaron Rodgers on the horn asking Mike McCarthy about the practice specifics.
Yeah.
That's got to be somewhat of a tell, I would think.
You would think if he's asking about what practices are going to be like, why would he ask that if he's not planning on coming back? Or unless he hears how the practices are going to be ran and says, you know what, Coach, I think I'm either going to go elsewhere, or you know what, I'm going to hang them up. And that would be the three most likely reasons why. But for me, like if you're asking about how the practices are going to go, that sounds like, okay, I'm preparing myself as I do my off-season training to get ready for how your practices are going to be structured and ran, so I can be acclimated for it. For me, that's just how I'm reading it. Is like, okay, I just want to know so I can get my body and my mind right for once we get there for mandatories if I sign by then, or training camp.
A couple things, Mike, I'm going to get into, but I'm not going to do that till after we talk to the board. We've waited too long already.
Yes.
I got to be honest. I mean, Monday, a lot of stuff goes on. You got to get a lot out early, but I don't feel right until we do get to the board. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, wherever you may be. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Terrible Board, guys. This is episode 958 of the Two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Christophus, my man, he says, hey, guys, what's up, Christophus? Always great to see you. And I was looking at I always go back and I make sure I read all the messages. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Christophus, and I've been saying his name all wrong along. Chrisophist. I've been calling him Christophist. Chrisophist is the name. I apologize. I hope that's not offensive to anything in your life. But I did catch that the other day, and it just kind of shows you I'm a little slow, but I did catch it. Chrisophist, not Christophist.
You a little slow, and you getting names wrong. Who would have thought?
Sash, always great seeing Sash in the house. He says, hello, you sexy fucks. Greeting from warm but cloudy Switzerland. Where the sun at, man? You know what? It's creeping in. It's going to be about 71 here today, but always great seeing Sash, and I hope it warms up for you over in Switzerland, man. It's sounds like it'd be a wonderful day if it's warm in Switzerland. I don't know. I've never been there, but it seems like it would be nice. Welcome back to the show, Sash. Always great to see you. Tortilla says World War III is just one-on-one. Drew Allar versus Will Howard. Drew Allar versus Will Howard. Tortilla, always great seeing you all the way from Sacramento, California. Sash says morning. He says it's almost 7 p.m. here. Wow, yeah. And it's crazy because when P hops on from Japan,
Yeah.
he's like 9 o'clock at night or some shit like this now. So that is cool. I always like to hear that kind of stuff. It's pretty interesting to me. 7 p.m. getting ready to start turning it in. Sash also says, also for once I'm not late. Heck yeah, my man. Great seeing you. And that's never a problem. Christopher says this: if Drew Allar cleans up his footwork, he has a good chance he will overtake Howard. Tyrone, JPJ is the GOAT. And you know what? JPJ, he's going to be getting his pretty soon, Ty. I do know that they were working on Nick Herbig's contract early this week. That is being taken care of. And I would suspect that Joey Porter Jr. will be, more closer into summer, but he's going to get his bag. Always great seeing the GOAT. Tyrone on the board. He follows it up by congratulations on your sweep. Oh, no, it's all good, bro. All good in the hood. You'll get us back. That's why I don't talk trash in baseball. Because we're the Pirates, and people always get us back. But it was a good outing for the Puckos. Robert Kirkpatrick, he said, I was pulling for Renegade. I was pulling for Renegade in the big horse race, of course, yesterday, Mike, because it was the Golden Shower. Just kidding, the Golden Tempo. They end up winning this horse race. I would have picked Renegade too, Robert. Always great to see you on the terrible board, my man. Hope you had a great weekend. RB, what up? RB's busy, man. He says this: what up, guys? Been working 65 plus. Internet has been in and out. We noticed. No problem at all, brother. You take care of your biz. Do what you got to do, man. Always great seeing my man RB from the team in the house. He says this: Derpy drags those other two friendly professional dudes deep down. You know what I do? I gotta say, I get into that show. I'm not into the nerd topics, but if I was, I would learn a lot from it. They're informative. They know what they're talking about, and I do like the show. That's why we do carry them here. Let's go to Tortilla. He says, yeah, I remember I made a joke, and Derpy was laughing, but his co-host was not having it. It went straight back to his point. I was like, yeah, that's the one thing. I think a lot of people, they just assume going over there that, they're going to be interactive. They are to an extent. They will answer the questions when they get to it, but it's not the same as it is here. But we do appreciate your support. RB says, who has bigger titties, Derpy or Diana Rossini? I don't know, Mike. I don't know. You're gonna have to give me this because I don't pay much attention to what's going on with this New England coach situation. I know what's going on, but I wouldn't even be able to point around on the street. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. Whose titties win between Derpy and Diana Rossini?
Derpy's terrible titties will always win, and they are the greatest titties in the world. This is a undisputable scientific fact. No one's titties are better.
Nobody's titties are better than Derpy's. Hand John Quinn, always great seeing Hand John. He says 13 times since 1919. Great seeing you, sir. Also Tyrone, always great seeing you. Hand John says last time 2018. Last time 2018. I'm not sure what that was referring to. I do apologize. Let me go to Hand John here. He says Golden Tempo is known for that. Okay, so that's probably the Triple Crown. The Triple Crown he's talking about. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's so rare. 13 times since 1919. 13 times in 100 in 7 years.
Yeah, I know like Secretariat did it. Affirmed, I think. Seattle Slew, and that's all I know about the horses that did not make it to the glue factory.
Also, we do know right here, Tortilla says we're going to need a bigger towel. We're going to need a bigger towel. Let's go to Chad Schrader. Always great seeing Chad. He says, what's up, Ryan and Mike? I'm a believer Will Howard will be the starter. And you know what? At this point, it's so hard to say. It really is. I'm hearing Mike McCarthy likes this guy, but Mike McCarthy likes this guy. People don't like this, but people don't like that about the other guy. So, again, it's going to be very interesting. And we're going to learn a lot about our team, some of its players. Mike, these are some things also that off of this topic I do want to talk about here. Is Mike McCarthy confident in himself, in his staff, to go into the season with no Mason Rudolph? Let's just say Aaron comes back. Let's say he comes back. Is he confident in himself and his coaching staff enough to run Aaron Rodgers, a second-year guy, in a rookie if it comes down to it, Mike. Is Mason Rudolph? Because at the end of the day, I don't know. They may carry 4. I don't know what they're going to do. But is the point I'm trying to make here is Mike McCarthy confident enough in his abilities, in his quarterback whispering abilities, to actually run with that, if that be the case when it comes down to it? We don't know what's going to happen, but again, we do know that Aaron Rodgers was asking specifics for practice.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, carrying 4, carrying 3, feeling comfortable. Does McCarthy, is he confident enough within his own work to do something like this, or do you feel it's a sure gone thing? It's going to be 4 quarterbacks because 2 of them are too young and inexperienced.
Yeah. I think he is confident. He's done this. He did this before in Green Bay. He carried 2 quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I forget how far into Rodgers' career that was. I don't know if that was year 2, year 3 when they did that, but he's done it before. Only kept 2 quarterbacks, and I think he might be confident enough to run just the 3: Rodgers, Howard, and Allar. If he really does believe what he says about Will Howard, thinks there's something there. I would have drafted him before the 6th round when we drafted him. Okay, he might trust him and trust where he's at developmental wise. And like picking Drew Allard in the 3rd round, that was his guy. He's going to keep him on the roster. He's going to give him an opportunity. So yeah, I think he would be very comfortable in his ability, not only his but him and Tom Arth, to do that. And probably even Aaron Rodgers' ability to stay healthy. He only missed the 1 game last year with the wrist injury. Hasn't really missed a lot of games in his career outside of the tearing his Achilles tendon. So his durability and Aaron Rodgers' durability and McCarthy's own ability and confidence in developing those young quarterbacks and having them ready. And I think in the confidence in the team as well, as a whole, to where if I have to put one of those guys in, I can make a game plan that's going to hide their weaknesses, but also, play to their strengths and the strength of the 10 other guys around them.
Now, see, Mike, now there's something that you should have just picked up immediately. What would you have just picked up immediately if you were looking at your screen?
A diehard Steeler fan.
No. Okay, so Cody did a super chat, so I'm going to let Mike.
I didn't have the chat up.
All right, so this is what's going on, Mike. You're going to get ready with the new alarm. We talked about this last week, so you go ahead and get that ready. Cody does. Listen, I'm gonna just leave it right there. I'm gonna pick back up on the board. You get it ready because we have a few things we got to practice today.
Okay.
And I don't think you're gonna be happy about the trivia of the day, but I want to talk about that here eventually as well. But Mike was gonna work on that briefly as we do move along on a terrible board. And again, we are gonna stick a couple of things. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. I have something comparable, guys, that you might want to pay attention to. This is the comparison between Will Howard. Again, a lot of people I'm seeing on the board, people like Will Howard. Some people like Drew Allar. But this right here, this is something that I found interesting, and I want to share with you. Just let me grab it here real quick, wherever it may be. I just think that this is interesting, guys. This is between... I swear I had it unless I erased it, which would be absolutely insane. Okay, here it is. Here it is, guys. So if you're looking for the comparison between, do we think that Will Howard can be the guy? Well, you know what, his career in college, he had these weapons, and Drew Allar didn't have weapons, and this offense. Guys, let me show you real quick. This is the comparison between Will Howard and Mason Rudolph, somebody that everybody is ready to just put their foot right on his ass and kick him to the curb. This here is comparison in college numbers, Will Howard versus Mason Rudolph. I think you're going to be interested to hear this, guys. Games played. Will Howard played 50. Mason Rudolph played 42. Okay, so Mason played 8 games less than Will Howard. Attempts, Mike. Mason Rudolph threw the ball 1,447 times. Will Howard threw 1,202 times. A considerable amount less. Okay, so again, whatever. Completion percentage. Will Howard 63.8, Mason Rudolph 63.2. Passing yards in college. Mason Rudolph with 8 games less played than Will Howard. 13,618 yards in college. Will Howard 9,796. Yards per attempt, Will Howard 8.1, Mason Rudolph 9.4. Passing touchdowns, 92 for Howard, 83. Or I'm sorry, 92 for Rudolph, 83 for Howard. Interceptions, Will Howard threw 35, Mason Rudolph threw 26. And finally, the rating, Mike, Will Howard 149.2, Mason Rudolph 159.7. Mason Rudolph beat Will Howard in college numbers. And again, that's 8 less games played. So with that being said, what are we going to learn about Will Howard when we get to see him play? Mike breaks his hand last year early in camp. Never got a chance to see him take a snap in the NFL, not even in preseason. Mike, the numbers are showing me that Mason Rudolph was somewhat of a productive quarterback in college. And Will Howard showing me that maybe he just did have a lot of very good weapons around him, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Mason coming out in that draft class, some people, did have saw him as a borderline first-round draft pick. And, he went in the third round, which if you don't go in the first, most quarterbacks teams don't draft guys in the second round. They wait till the third. So it's kind of where they should have got him. In that Oklahoma State offense, he was slinging that ball up and down the field. He has a strong, lively arm. And you saw it in that spread offense that they ran in college. He was just slinging that ball, and his number one receiver was James Washington, and you compare that to Will Howard.
Yeah.
And when he came to Ohio State, look at the plethora of number one wide receivers that were drafted in the first round. He had to, just look at all he had to do was really make one read, and that guy was going to get open. And he just wasn't a one-read quarterback, but you get what I'm saying. He can just, hey, this route and this play, I'm just going to watch, Marvin Harrison Jr. wait till he gets open because I have a beast of an offensive line, and these guys are all in one-on-one coverage. Howard does not have the strongest arm like Mason does, but Howard played with anticipation, which like you have to play at this high level too with good anticipation. He can do that. He's not a big vertical threat guy. He can probably could work in this Mike McCarthy offense if, working the middle of the field, those short to intermediate routes. But Will Howard does not have that big arm the way like Mason Rudolph does. Aaron Rodgers once did, still has occasionally, and that Drew Allar has. So it's going to be, do you want the guy that can just be the facilitator back there, make the smart, quick plays, or do you want the guy who is the total package? And that's not Will Howard. Doesn't have that big booming arm the way like Mason Rudolph does. So if it comes down to those two, it's like who does Mike McCarthy want to start if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back? It's going to be pick your poison at that point. But yeah, coming out of college, Mason Rudolph was the much better prospect than Will Howard.
As I'm looking at, all the numbers, yeah. And listen, I'm going to play devil's advocate just for a moment here. With Ty, and listen, I don't want to because I love Ty, but my only problem with this comment, he says that he was cooking all the best defenses in country as well. If you're considering Minnesota and Rutgers and Northwestern, I just, again, if you are one of the top two teams in the Big Ten, then you're not really playing all the best teams because you might. And sometimes, do they play Michigan every single year, or is there years they take off? Okay, so you're always getting that top team, but again, wasn't Michigan kind of bad after they won the national championship? So again, that's going to be my argument with that. Because again, I've heard this year in year out until I started paying attention to it, and I'm realizing who's in the Big Ten. It's not really that great a team. There's two. It's a top-heavy conference. So if you're not playing the two teams, are you really playing the best competition? That's just my opinion again. And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I didn't really even want to do it, but let me get back on the board. Let's go right here to I know. Listen, Tennessee, Pitt beat Tennessee a couple of years in a row. And Pitt's never good. And Notre Dame. Listen, I'm not going to say it's bad, but
it's when you have
everybody plays Notre Dame. It doesn't matter what conference you're in, though.
It's just when you have numerous first-round wide receivers to throw to, a great offensive line. It makes your job easy.
Absolutely.
Makes the job a whole hell of a lot
And
easier.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like most quarterbacks can look really good in Ohio State offenses.
Right.
Yeah, like Darn or who's it? Cardell Jones and all those guys that they won a championship with a freshman quarterback. He was a great, talented college quarterback, but that system and those receivers that they have down there, you can just plug guys in and it just chugs along. I'm not taking anything away from them because you got to make the reads and the throws, but it's a whole hell of a lot easier at Ohio State than a lot of other universities.
Yeah. So again, listen, I'm not gonna go on and on about it. It was just an observation that I made. Again, the Minnesotas and the Purdue's and the Northwesterns and the Rutgers, and I'm looking through this list. And I'm thinking, okay, where's the good teams at? Oh, there they are, right there, the top two. But anyway, I'm not going to go on. Let's get back on the board. I do want to say welcome to everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the terrible board. Let's go right about here. So Tortilla says this, and I do want to say what's up to Tortilla all the way from Sacramento. He says Ryan ran the Marinara-thon. I did run the Marinara-thon. Carl says I went to day 3 of the draft. Great time though. The beer was $19.50 per beer. You know what? It's bullshit that they're even able to do that shit. You know what I mean? It's their thing against price gouging, against ripping people off because I don't know what. That's awesome though. I'm glad that you did make it. Glad that you did make it, Carl. Glad to see you on the terrible board. Glad to see you back on the show. Brandon5177 says Brandon5177 sucks. That's a weird thing to drop in and say about himself, but there you go, Brandon. Let's go to Robert Kirkpatrick. Always great seeing Robert. He says the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins opened up the playoffs with the win over Hershey. They are looking good. Absolutely looking good. Great seeing you, Robert. The baby Pens look good for sure. Jamal, always great seeing Jamal in the house. Gang, my man. Hope things are looking good for you, brother, down in Texas. As always, Tyrone says, hurry up, Bernard. Robert says this, the Penguins affiliate, the Wheeling Nailers are also in the playoffs. And I love going to the Nailers games. As a matter of fact, about 10 years ago or so, when I don't remember if they even won or not, because I was loaded. But when I did go down to their championship, one of their championship games, we went to quite a few games that year, but we did make it down to one of the championship games as well. Wheeling Nailers are always pretty tough. Sash says NFL off season is so friggin' long. It is. We're getting through it. We're getting there, man. We're getting there slowly but surely. Jamal says, didn't Will Howard bust his ass head to head? No, did he? Oh, going head to head with Allar?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, Ohio State. Yeah, Will Howard's Ohio State team beat the Penn State led.
And you're always going on about how important the quarterbacks are, and as am I. So again, okay, just learning. Always great seeing just learning on the board. He says, "Hey, bros, what's up, bro? Always great seeing you." Jamal says the Roonies are weak. 007 says this by the Steelers declining Broderick Jones' 5th-year contract. Is the writing on the wall for Broderick Jones, or is he a goner? Guys, I think this, because this is what I read over the weekend. I'm reading that Brojo to miss spring practices with a chance to return to camp. I think the writing's on the wall with Broderick Jones. It's just a matter of time. They're going to let him play this out, see how things look. But Mike, just the way that it's going so far, I can honestly say I don't expect this all to come together for Broderick Jones in a short amount of time, and him to be able to pull it together, and him to go back out there and outperform everybody else, and him to earn the job. In my opinion, this is right. The writing on the wall is Broderick Jones is as good as done here.
Yeah, I think so too. It's they drafted Ian Anchor in the first round, more or less penciled him in at starting left tackle or right tackle, depending on how camp goes between him and Fatanu. So and they got Dylan Cook that at least the front office likes. I don't know how the new coaching staff likes him, but you're coming back from this major injury that could potentially. It's a career-ending injury, or a devastating injury if you go back out there and play that could potentially paralyze you or fuck you up even more. I can see the Steelers maybe giving him a chance, and at best, he's going to be a backup swing tackle. That's it, and he might not even make the roster, might not even make it off of IR at this point. The writing's on the wall. He's done for the Steelers. I don't think we see him in the Steelers uniform again.
Let me grab a couple. Let's continue on the messages, Mike. I don't want to get behind today.
Yeah.
Hand John says this. Excuse me. Howard versus Allar. Howard 1-0, 20 to 13 in 2024. Howard 16 for 24, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 12 carries, 24 yards rushing. Allar 20, 146, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 10 from rush, 31 rushing. Ty says this, can't wait till the OTAs. I'm sorry. May 18. May 18, guys. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Close. It is close. It won't be too much longer. Somber, what's up, man? Always great seeing Somber on the terrible board. Hope things are going well in South SoCal. Let's go to Ty. He says, in my opinion, Allar has the advantage. Mike McCarthy wanted him. That's the guy Howard is going to have to ball out. You know what? Here's the thing. I think that I don't think that Mike McCarthy is going to be unfair.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think, he's going to go through his processes and work with the guys, and however it works out, it's going to work out. I don't know if I've ever came to the conclusion that I thought Mike McCarthy may play favoritism. Because again, he's worked with a lot of good quarterbacks in his days. He was bringing up, he's worked with Aaron Rodgers and just everywhere he went, Mike, he's had good quarterbacks or had to work with quarterbacks. And even what was the rush guy that we were talking about down in Dallas a couple years ago, the backup quarterback, he even looked good briefly in Dallas under Mike McCarthy. So again, I don't know if it's as much of a favoritism thing. I think that he's going to try to get the best out of both of these quarterbacks, and whoever wins the competition is probably going to be that guy. But I think you're going to see down later on the board here that a lot of people are saying that this is even the final answer, if you will, because a lot of people still expecting us to make some moves next draft in 2027 with a quarterback heavy draft. So again, is this the be all say all? Probably not. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I have even seen an indication that Mike McCarthy, he's saying a lot of good things about both of the guys, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't think he's put all of his eggs into one basket. You're going to want to develop them both up in case one of them, flames out, or let's say they both develop really well. You're liking where they're at, and one of them, you name one your starting quarterback, and he goes out there and gets hurt. You want that next man up ready to go. So I don't see McCarthy slacking off on either one. I don't think him and Arthur are going to do that. They're going to have all their guys ready to go.
I couldn't agree more. Let's do a move. I listen. I'm excited about it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is going to be a lot of fun. And, there's still this not knowing about Aaron. But at the end of the day, Mike, as I said, he did contact Coach, and he did ask him specifics about practice. So if that's a tell, it may be a tell. But at the end of the day, I'm the quarterback situation I'm most excited about is seeing these two guys. But maybe get the veteran back and, have the know-how playing on the field. Have the two guys competing against one another and learning from it and the whole experience. Maybe that could be beneficial. I don't know. But again, Mike, just a few things that went down over the past couple of days would make you think that the tide might have changed a little bit, because last week we didn't know what was going on with Aaron. And now, Mike, from what we do know is he's getting information about practice. So that's got to say something. But this coming out right around the time of the Arizona Cardinals also being interested in Aaron. So I'm not real sure what to make, Mike. It's a cloud full of information, and I'm just not sure what to make of it.
And neither am I. Are the reports coming out, they're true? It's just like someone down in Arizona trying to stir some shit. But hey, if Aaron goes, cool, awesome. Thank you for the
right. I'm not going
to comp pick, and then we get to see one of these two young quarterbacks potentially get a shot to be our starter, and see if they have what it takes to be the future. Or if Rodgers comes back, cool.
Sleep, Mike. I'm not going to lose any sleep if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back.
Me either.
At all.
None. And if he comes back, cool. We give more time for these guys to develop behind them, and that gives us a better shot to have a really successful season. So for me, it's a win-win.
There's a lot of things happening. Let me continue on. Jamie Carlo, what's up? Welcome back to the show. He says, yo, Jamie, nice seeing you back in the house. Nice seeing you back on a terrible board. Jamie, welcome. Let's go scoot a little bit forward right here. Jamie, I before M. Got you on that. Cody. Here it is, Mike. So here we're gonna test your skills. Are you ready? I do want to say thank you to Cody for the super chat. Mike, this is where you cue the new. Go ahead. Oh, you were as quick as a whip. There you go. And we're gonna use all the crash outs. We're gonna use you. We're gonna use Derpy. We're gonna use Ty. But you don't go too far, Mike, because you might be able to get to practice again in just a moment. But I do want to say thank you to Cody so much for the super chat. He says this, you know who should really battle it out. Cody says, leaving us at a question, but I'm going to get to him in just a second. Let's scoot through. We do want to say thank you for that super chat, Cody. Christophus says this, I'm kind of hoping that A-Rod does not return. I really want the era of Will or Drew to begin because with the wide receivers and tight ends we have, I find it hard to believe either quarterback won't be successful. You know what? And Chris, I hope there's just so much to know about being a quarterback when you're in the NFL. Most people don't make it. That's the thing. There's 32 that do start out of 8 billion people on the planet, and like we always said, there's about five elite quarterbacks on the planet at any given time. I don't disagree with you. Listen, I'm not saying that I disagree. I'm just saying it's hard, and you hope that one of these guys could step up and grab the bull by the horns. But why does nobody feel really overconfident about this? You know what I mean? There's a lot of what ifs about both of these guys, and I understand they're both young and they both got to work. And I just, again, at the end of the day, it's a tough thing to do. So if that's the case, listen, if Aaron, like I just said, if Aaron's gone, I lose no sleep. That's fine. I think it could be beneficial either way. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are saying that this is going to be one of those two guys, and then whoever wins, it's going to be their team. But that big 2027 draft with all these quarterback talent coming up, that's going to bring more questions. So ultimately, I don't know what to think, Chris. I just don't. But I'm right there with you. I'll be okay if Aaron goes. And again, I think we learn a lot if Aaron goes. You learn differently. You learn a lot if he's there, but you also learn a lot if he's not there. So again, just interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting, guys. And again, July 4th is 2 months from today. And they start camp in July and they start playing football games in August. Meaningful ones in September. It won't be too long now. Let's go to Robert Kirkpatrick. He says those Ohio State is Penn State stats are very deceiving. Ohio State had a team full of stars and great coaching staff. Penn State sounds familiar. Allar had no weapons. We had Tyler Warren. You went on and on about Tyler Warren for a couple of years. I do.
That's about his only weapon.
Yeah. He had some nice running backs too.
He did.
And here we go. Cody said Mike, here is the punchline to the Cody's super chat. Mike says, of course, Cody says, Dues nutters, motherfucker. So I don't even know what is that supposed to say. I don't know, Cody. What is that?
Dues nuts, motherfucker.
That ain't even what it says. There's a W in there, and there's an ers at the end of nuts. So I don't know what the hell he's trying to say.
This is Cody we're talking about. Okay,
understood.
Spelling's not his strong suit.
Understood. Let's move on. But thank you so much, Cody. Greatly appreciated, sir. You will see it all go back into the show, my friend. Thank you. For the super chats. Let's go to Sash. Sash says this from the Howard versus Allar chatters. It's pretty simple. If Rodgers retires, it's between Howard and Mason. If Rodgers plays in 2026, Allar's probably the favorite. He's McCarthy's guy. He hand-picked him. Let's go to Somber. Somber says, I heard Allar being compared to Rudolph as well. Comparisons mean nothing. Ty says, pause. Cody. Also, Tyrone says, ooh, I hate that comparison. Of course, going back to the Mason and Will Howard. Christopher says, but I also know that with what we have on offense, Aaron would carve up defenses. He did a lot with a little. He did do a lot with a little last year. I mean, very little. I mean, at some point, no starting wide receivers, if you think about it. We only provided him one, and that one was out the last couple games of the year. So again, when it came down to it, we were able to win games without those weapons. So do what you want with that. Do we win those games down the stretch with either Will Howard or Drew Allar at this point in their career? Probably not. So again, there were benefits both ways to this, just depending on how you look at it, I think. Robert says this. He says, let's just say Allar knows what Rodgers put up with last season. Mark Malone, always great seeing Mark Malone in the house. Mark Malone says this, the Magnum could really excel in the McCarthy offense. He was electric at Okie State. We had a nice weekend, Mark. Christopher says this, Mason Rudolph would excel with what we have on offense. Tyrone says this, Howard played well also, yes, he had weapons. The playoff run, Howard was cooking at the best defenses. Listen, what was that dumb play he made in the Oregon game that year? Where he like made a big mistake at the end of the game, where he was supposed to throw it or the clock or he whatever it was. Like that's the one thing that really sticks out to me. And I understand he's good, and but at the end of the day, those little things like that is something that's going to be brought up, Mike, down the road when you really start breaking it down in decision making. And if this guy has it, this guy's been in the situation before. How did he handle the situation? Again, I don't specifically remember what happened, but I do remember a blunder at the end of an Oregon Ohio State game that cost Ohio State the game. As a matter of fact, didn't they lose to Oregon twice? Like I don't know, it was something crazy.
They lost in the regular season too, and they beat them in the playoff run, I believe. But yeah, it was a clock management situation, and he panicked under pressure, and the decision he made kept the clock running, and they weren't able to stop the clock even run the final play or get the field goal unit on. It cost them the game, or potentially could have cost the game. I can't remember what happened, but it was a big boneheaded play, and it's something you hope he learned from, because he even talked about it in the draft process, and I even think last year in training camp of like, I got to clean stuff like that up. So he knows about it. It's just, can he do it going forward? And it seems like he did in the latter half of the college season. But it's all part of the evaluation process.
But that's a game you would have liked to seen him win and not have the screw up at the end, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because when you really start dissecting these players, they look at everything. That is just something that pops into my mind. And I'm not an Ohio State guy, and I don't pay much attention to what they do, even in the playoffs. But that, when I think about it, Mike, that's what pops into my head when I think of Will Howard, was the boneheaded play at the end of that Oregon game. But again, still so much to be talked about, still so much to be seen. He might come out and blow things away. That's the thing. We don't think of it this way, Mike. We think of it's going to be a good competition, which it's going to be. What if one of these guys actually come out head and shoulders better than the guy across from him? You just don't know. One of these guys, they just might get it all of a sudden. And sometimes that's what it is in sports, is just getting it one day. You wake up and you just get it. And, we will see that as it plays out. Jamie says this, none of these guys will be the Steelers' future quarterback. The future quarterback for the Steelers is in next year's draft. Mark Malone says they're all busts next year at Jamie Carlo. Let's go to Ty. Agree, Jamie, there are like 10 first-round talent. It's going to be crazy next year. Mark Malone is calling it 10 busts. Let's go Ty. Ty says, no, that playoff run, I'm saying. Jamie says, I don't think so. Better than this year draft and what the Steelers have in the house. I mean, what do they got? Sellers coming out of South Carolina. Manning coming out of Texas, probably. What's the guy coming out of Chamberlain coming out of Ole Miss? I mean, there's literally about 8 guys that are potentially at this point first round talent. Whether that pans out next year and it continues to go in that direction, we will see. But as of right now, go look at next year's quarterback class. It's pretty tight, pretty good as of right now. Cody says, Mike, we are not taking you serious today. The water boy is a cheetah. That's this could be a good time to get into this, Mike. I made it an executive decision. I think we're going to do away with the trivia of the week, the trivia of the day. And we're going to take it because you choose to cheat. So now everybody else doesn't get to enjoy what this show can provide for them and bring them joy into their lives when they tune in, Mike, every day in the afternoon. And people, they like the trivia. They tune in. Some people tune in for the trivia. And because of you, they're not going to have that anymore. You're taking that away from people that support you. I don't know what the hell your problem is.
All because I was thinking Kolba and someone said Kolba. I'm like, oh yeah. Kolba.
No, not all because of that. Because of the other 955 times prior to that as well.
I'm like Barry Bonds over here. There's a lot of accusations, no positive results. That's all I'm going to say. There's zero evidence.
There is evidence because if I pull up the tape from Friday first, you go, I don't know. And then you said you seen the name pop up and you was like, oh, Kolba is coming to my mind. Colby. And then you said, oh, I know what it is. It's John Kolba.
It's all circumstantial
Out of
evidence.
nowhere. So Mike, the trivia is done. So there you go. Thank Mike, everybody.
You're welcome.
Take a moment.
You know, I feel bad for everyone except for Cody. I know this hits Cody the hardest, so I'm kind of okay with it.
I have plenty of trivia toward to you. He can't play. He has to break the rules.
Well, it's not like
listen. He has to always got to be going against the. He's got to be competitive. Got to be combative. You know.
Hey, you start reading everyone's
what about
comments before I get to guess.
Wait. It ain't about me. This is a
little personal accountability there, buddy.
Wait, go ahead. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What did you say?
I say, you read everyone else's guesses before I get to guess. So it's not my fault that I hear their answers and go,
well, Mike, I'm not going to take your answer first and then look at their guesses. That would be kind of weird because then they would know. So anyway, it's gone. It's canceled. Mike, thank Mike, everybody. Trivia that we've been doing for 5 years. I've come to the conclusion that there's no way to do it without being cheated. So
I don't cheat. That's the thing. That's all right. You know, I know the truth.
So thank Mike, everybody. There you go. When you're tuning in every day and you think to yourself, oh, I really like that trivia at the end. Oh, if Mike wouldn't have screwed and look, Mike doesn't care.
I don't because I know the truth. The truth.
What is the truth?
The truth is I do not cheat.
Okay. With that being said, there you go, everybody. Thank Mike on the way out. He's always improving things. Now we are no longer having the trivia. Ty says R.I.P. trivia. There you go. And the way Mike's making light of it, I would be upset with him. Let's do scoot
forward
along.
all complaints to the 2dumyinzers.com.
Yeah, Mike's making it funny, but again, when people start dropping off and not coming on. There you go.
Oh, see now you're really.
Like they love the trivia. They love the trivia. Yeah. All right, let's move along.
Yeah, see now I'm sad.
Well, you should be. Listen. That's my goal. My goal is to make you sad right now.
Like it's really not hard to make me sad.
It's so hard to say goodbye to trivia.
It is. I am sad.
I'm sad too, and you should be. You should be kicking yourself. Or I should be kicking you. One of the two.
I should be kicking Derpy.
Derpy. Let's go on. I'm gonna go right here. Let's go to Ty says Tennessee, Oregon, Notre Dame.
Oh,
yeah, they lose to Oregon. And again, Tennessee a few years back, I'm pretty sure we beat them here at Pitt. But anyway, again, I listen. It really feels like I'm going at Ty, and I'm not. I'm just not. It just ends up playing out that way. With comments today, do let me stick on the board though, Mike. A lot of things to get into. As a matter of fact, let's go to Mark Malone, 10 bus. No, don't go right there. Robert says this: New York, next year's draft. That's what everyone was saying, going to 2026. And that was because, again, we were looking to go after a quarterback this year, and it just wasn't there. Next year, there are a handful of what people are believing are going to be top first-round quarterbacks. So, again, we will see. Cody says this. Mike thinks Drew Allar is the total package.
Yeah. He is the Lex Luger of the NFL. He is the total package. He has it all. He has the smarts. He has the vision. He has enough athletic ability to avoid the rush, and he has a laser rocket arm. He can throw a football over those mountains, baby.
Somber says, name a wide receiver that Mahomes had in college that's in the league now. I don't want to hear Allar apologist, especially if it's being used to shit on Will. Let the best man win. At the end of the day, no matter what anybody says, that's what it's going to come down to. The best, they're going to go at it, and opinions are opinions, and numbers are numbers. But when it comes down to it, they're going to compete, and we'll see who gets the edge this year. Mike, it may not even matter. It may not even matter if Aaron Rodgers comes back. This could all be just something that is talk. Because at the end of the day, what if they bring Aaron Rodgers? What if they bring back Mason Rudolph? And then you have these two guys competing. It's going to be a non-story for the most part. So, as of where we are right now, I'm looking forward to a good competition. If it even plays out that way, it's hard to say at this point. Cody says, or at least he wants to see his package.
You mean see? You forgot an N in there. Already seen.
Cody says, this top-heavy conference, Penn State, nowhere to be found.
Lurking in the shadows.
They do lurk in the shadows.
We do lurk in the corner of the shower stall.
Mark Malone, they are both Sandusky fans.
It's a beautiful little town.
Robert, it wasn't one of the professors like banging a goat or a horse or something up there?
It was his dog in the woods. Get it right.
There you go. Robert Kirkpatrick says this. We have two good ones now. Let's move forward now. I quit chasing the pie in the sky. Next quarterback, Tyrone, he says this, and that's another opportunity. Like, I want to see these two guys go at it because it's going to answer questions. It's going to let us know if we're going to have to go after somebody next year. I just think that, again, it's going to be very interesting to see what way this plays out. And we don't know. We just don't know, unfortunately. I wish Aaron would just, I don't know. I don't know what I wish, but let's go here. Tyrone says, yeah, we don't care about college stats. To be honest, best man wins because if A-Rod don't come back, they will have weapons. Somber 100%. I do want to say what's up and welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board. History is you 9979. He says this, it's easy. The mullet should start at quarterback, of course, because that hair belongs on a Wheaties box. And I don't think there's anybody that would disagree with saying that Dunker should be the quarterback of our team. And I do want to ask this question real quick, guys. Did the Steelers do enough? Did the Steelers do enough for you to address the offensive line issues this year? Did they do enough for you? Yes, they went out and got this pick. A lot of people would have rather had them take a wide receiver had it fell in that direction. But with that being said, did the Steelers do enough for you this season while trying to improve the offensive line? They went out and they got a couple scragglers. They brought in Hoffman. They brought in a couple guys in the offseason. And then again, they drafted a guy with their first pick. But do you feel that they did enough? Did they do enough to improve this offensive line for you? That's my question of the day, guys. Throw your answers up if you do have an opinion on that. Did they do enough to improve that offensive line? Because technically we don't know who the left guard is going to be at this point. Technically, they're talking about Fatano being moved to left tackle because our number one pick is a right tackle in college. So at the end of the day, I mean, we know McCormick and we know Frazier, and we know that Fatano is probably going to be flipped to the left-hand side. Is that enough? Was enough done in the offseason to improve that offensive line? Remember, listen, and before we say, yeah, I just want to say, remember, just think back to January 14th or whatever it was, and think of this team against Houston. Not the best team out there. A team that got eliminated shortly thereafter. Is this offensive line improved enough to face the Houston Texans defense with success? Is this offensive line, did it improve enough to even go against the Cleveland Browns defense with success? So again, just asking your thoughts on that, guys. Did we do enough to improve this offensive line? And Mike, we know that this has been the plan, was starting with the line, and you know, here we are kind of on our second left tackle, if you will, but or right tackle, however you want to do it. But did we improve enough for it to make that kind of a difference? Yeah, there will be some improvement. We'll give the quarterback a little bit more time. But at the end of the day, how far are we from being where we'd like to be with this offensive line?
You know, with Project Jones not developing at all, and the injury that really set us back right there. That kind of screwed us because you think of going into this year, we just need a guard. Just need a guard to plug in and put in there. We would be good because all, you know, the 4/5 of the line would be set. That's a tough question to answer. I'm not a big fan of Brock Hoffman. I think he's Mike McCarthy charity hire. I think there were better guards out there we could have got. Tackle, I don't think there are any good tackles out there. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I have to ruminate on that one.
I mean, they could have went after a trade. They could have used players. They could have used leverage. I mean, they could have did a lot of things to improve the offensive line. However, they did. They went out and got a couple backups, as you mentioned, in the offseason. They did what they did in the draft. You know, I mean, if something is a need that bad, you do what you got to do and you go get it. And again, I'm just curious, guys. Throw your thoughts up on the board. I am going to jump back on the board right here because it's that time. Let's go to Somber. Somber says this. He says any play time Broderick has now is an interview for his next team. You're probably 100% right. Aaron J. There he is. Here we go. Steelers with the Rockets. Nice to see you. Always great seeing Aaron. Nice way to kick off the week, Mike.
It is. It's the best.
Somber is a Notre cow. A Notre cow is what Cody's saying. Also, RB says, I think Allar's move was the let's avoid entering the quarterback lottery next year move. You want to believe between Howard and Allar, one will be serviceable, keeping you out of that mess next year. Somber says, I've heard three-way quarterback battle in 2027, but realistically, Howard and Allar are battling for quarterback. Yeah, you're right. Ultimately, they are. And again, after Aaron Rodgers was asking Coach details on practice, it kind of makes you think that it's more going in that way. But as of right now, a lot of talk. There's Allar and Howard competition. So I'm going to try to get Derpy right here. Vegas is saying Derpy for number one quarterback. Derpy. And I'd like to get Derpy on tomorrow. I might to get his take again. You know what? He does this after the draft. He'll disappear for like a week. Because he sits there and he wants all the Ohio State guys to go in the top 5 picks, and it just doesn't work out that way.
We don't draft Ohio State guys.
Derpy. Let's do scoot along right here. Han John says Mike McCarthy likes Howard, but McCarthy picked Allar. He didn't pick Howard. Also, Cody says this Mike just wants to see Penn State. And that's how all these Big Ten guys are. It's kind of getting old. But anyway, let's do scoot along right here to Robert. Robert says someone in Arizona trying to stir up shit. Exactly. Of course, with the Aaron Rodgers rumors, Han John says 10 first-round quarterback prospects next year. How many of those go from prospects to projects? And there will be probably quite a few. At the end of the day, there'll probably be like 2, like there are every year. But we will see. There are a lot as of right now. You're right, Han John. There's a lot as of right now. Somber says more like 18. Somber says this, a third, return and a half of those are busts. Cody says we're 69. Ty says this, saying first round talent right now. He has weapons. Is that the same? Same first round talent right now. Mike?
No. Like if someone has first round talent, you can see it pops off the tape no matter what the weapons are around them. Now, if you have great weapons around you and you're putting up sky numbers, then you got to go, or great numbers, go look at, then you have to really take a look at the film. Okay, is it because of the players around him, or is it because this player is so good? And I think for Will Howard, it was like shit ton of talent around him, and you can see his talent was NFL good, but I don't think starter talent and first round talent. He doesn't have like the traits that that most teams look for in a first round pick.
Somber says this. You said first round. My bad. You're right. Let's go here. Somber half probably to answer that question. Ty, yeah, I agree. Maybe 8 of them. Let's scoot up here talking about quarterbacks. Cody says I'm driving on the highway, assholes.
No excuses, Cody. We want results.
Ty says this. He says he slid early. Then the next game, he went up by 34 at halftime. Who they play the next week? Like Minnesota. I'm sorry, Ty. I am sorry. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's gotten into me today.
You're punchy.
It's just with Ty. I don't know why. Because I don't want to be like that with him. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
Because you want to talk shit about the Reds. That's why.
Oregon, Somber says. That was not out of my mouth. That was from Somber. Vegas says our horse came in second. Somber says Howard slid too early. Allar threw an interception. Pick your poison. That's true. Shambless's ass is what RB is saying on the board. Tyrone said, you guys know where I stand. I don't care who wins. I just want the best guy. And that's with me, man. I just want the guy that's going to get in there and win football games and make me feel confident that my team is going to win football games again. I just want that. I remember when Ben was here all those years, there wasn't many games that you felt that we didn't have a chance to win. You always felt like there was a chance. I'd like to get back to that one day, and that's what it's called, having a franchise quarterback that you trust. Somber says, yes, blame it on Mike. Laughed my ass off. Let's go here. Tortilla. Ryan is running. I never run out of trivia, man. I tell you what, I stretched the draft trivia out for like 6 weeks. I thought that was pretty impressive. It was getting down to the thin pickings. And John said this: Allar's interception was as much a great play by the defensive back as it was a bad throw. Game was tied. Notre Dame still had to make the field goal to win. Robert says this 2027 mock has 6 quarterbacks going in the first 10 picks. They all said the same for 2026. Look what happened. We have 2 good, young, talented quarterbacks. Let's develop them for 2 to 3 years, and we will be ahead of the game. Let's go here to Somber. RIP trivia and RIP to 69 420. Yeah, you're taking that away. You're taking away the 69 420. Vegas says Barry's hat size went from 7.5 to 10.5. Mike, what is your hat size?
Humans grow throughout life, man. It ain't Barry's fault. I ain't seen no failed drug test.
I'm gonna measure your head tomorrow.
Ain't seen no failed drug test. Barry Lamar.
Do we have one of them tape measures, like the kind that the tailors use, the ones that are like it's like literally like a tape? Do we have one of them?
Yeah, I got something. I can even stick it on my forehead.
No, I don't want you to do. I want to do it because I want it to be true. I don't want.
So you want it to be true. So you want to do it. So you're gonna like skew the results.
I would not skew it. Do I ever skew the answers on trivia? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Just because we don't get them right doesn't mean I'm skewing the answers. Let's continue on though. Let's go right here to what? Let's go right here. Somber says this: Allar tried to squeeze it in there, but yes, great play. Agree RP. Ty, no. Cody says Mike, he's pretty much calling you Bill Belichick or whatever his stupid last name was. No, I'm not calling him Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's he's dating college chicks.
I think he is, Cody. I appreciate the backup. You're still number 1 on the enemy list, but I appreciate the backup, brother. Let's
go to Ty. Ty says RIP trivia. Vegas says if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Right there you go. And that's why. And that's exactly why Mike is being.
But so I wasn't trying at trivia, so therefore I wasn't cheating.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to Scott. Scott Atkins. Always great seeing Scott. He says waiting on Aaron is like flirting with 2 chicks at the bar, knowing that you're going home with the old hag at the end of the bar who's blackmailing you into being with. That's exactly what it's like. And believe me, there's nobody that knows that more than I do. Yes, I agree, Scott. That is really actually pretty funny. Possible game ball. Let's go right here. Vegas says it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday, to trivia day. He's saying, Mike, he's singing it who was it? That was Boyz II Men?
I think so.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Tortilla says this: I've heard trivia is stripping at a new club. LOL Somber says. Tyrone says, Mike, don't cheat. Put a vote on it. Cody says, Mike, you're comparing yourself to Barry Bonds when it's more like Pee Wee Herman in the movie theater.
Nope. Hey,
that's exactly what it's like.
Pee Wee Herman was at an appropriate place to jerk off. He was at an adult theater. What else do you think was going on there? My man was targeted. I am great like Barry Lamar Bonds. So now this is why Cody is back on.
Ty is asking for a vote. I vote for the Pee Wee Herman. I don't know about everybody else, but that's where my vote is going. Let's go to Han John. Han John said Allar is my preference just based on arm talent. At the end of in the end, if one of them becomes the next franchise quarterback, don't care what you do. Exactly. I just want a franchise quarterback. I don't give a shit who it is. I don't care. I don't care who it is at all, to be honest with you. As long as somebody becomes it. Tyrone says it's okay, no worries. That just means we played playoff wise. Cody says it's all Mike's fault. Cody's coming down hard on Mike. Tyrone says, oh yeah, he beat Texas too. Cody says this: take his Drew Allar blow up doll away, then we'll see who's laughing.
You have to find all of them.
Sommer says these quarterbacks won't be eligible forever. LOL, they have to declare eventually. Han John says Skoranek will be placed by Eli, so that Allar gets 15. And that's a question, guys, I have. They did say that old Drew Darts, he's in the top 5 of the rookie jerseys sold. What number are they putting on these jerseys, Mike?
Right, because Bensko's still on the team. That he just signed an extension this offseason, I believe. So I don't think he's going to get number 15 unless, Bensko wants to give that number up, and I don't see how Skoranek gets cut.
Mike, can you do me a huge favor?
Yeah.
Can you go online and look at Drew Allar jerseys and tell me what number they are putting on? Because again, Mike, the scoop is this: amongst the rookies, it's been what, a week since the draft. Mike, Drew Allar is in the top 5 of the rookie jerseys sold, and again, only 2 rookies I know have numbers right now. And Mad Max is 71, and Eli is number 29. And until again. I mean, are people buying Drew Allar jerseys that have the wrong number on it just because they want to get a jersey? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I'm at the NFL shop right now, and it's 00 Drew Allar.
See, now who would buy that? That's queer. Would you buy that?
Fuck no.
I mean,
even for a player. Okay, it's like you can reserve now. Okay, so you're reserving it until they get the number on there, and then they can sell it. Okay.
Well, that's not the same.
Yeah.
Drew darts. Let's do Scoot. But that answers the question. Thank you. I appreciate your looking that up. Let's go right here. Andron says Allar is 3 years younger than Howard. In the end, that will matter. Tyrone said his quarterback class all better come out. I swear I'm going to be mad. Next chance we get a franchise quarterback. I know. Watch all these guys decide to come out 2028. So at this point, we do have to, we have to shit it off the pot to some capacity. And, I think we're doing that in a way. Vegas with the big scoop all the way from Las Vegas. Mike, he says this: the Ravens announcer Jerry Sandusky retired.
I kind of felt bad for that guy when the whole Sandusky scandal came out, because people are like, he should change his name. And all I'm thinking is, why should he change his name? He's not the one who sucked and raped little kids.
Right.
This poor guy. That would suck.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny because it's the Ravens.
Funny it is funny because it's the Ravens, but my God, that would suck, bro.
Let's go to
oh shit, excuse me.
I do believe right here. Scott Atkins. Scott says this: everyone talks about the Steelers not wanting another AB. That's a fat lie. AB made you watch the Steelers with the thought that they might score on every play. You know who was like that for me, Scott, was Santonio Holmes. I really thought his time here was too short. He was and Antonio took a few years to get started. Remember, he came in as a 6th round. Like, they had him returning kicks early on, but getting a chance to get out there and be effective. This OSU wide receiver in Santonio Holmes was very effective from day one, and not just those plays in that Super Bowl. Go back and watch his tape. He was very, very damn good, and I thought that was stupid that they ended up letting him go, Mike, because of weed. Get the fuck out of here.
I know, right? I hated that, but I believe like when we traded him, the pick we got allowed us to get Antonio Brown, which kind of sucks. I would love to have both those guys on the team at the same time. That would have been fucking epic.
Tyrod Taylor signing with the Packers. Somber's saying right now on the board, Tyrod Taylor. I can't believe Tyrod is still in the league, but there you go, Tyrod Taylor.
Backup quarterback has to be one of the best positions in the NFL.
That's a gig, man. That's a good gig to have.
Yeah, man.
Handjohn says this: in 3 years, Allar most likely would be further along in development. Ty says, yes, they gave me a wide receiver too. Allar Iverson. Tortilla is saying Allar Iverson on the board. Tyrone says they fixed the O-line, wide receiver room, secondary as well. Okay. No, they did. And that's just kind of what I'm asking. Do you think it is good enough? Do you think the offensive line work is good enough? Was the question. So Ty's saying yes. Cody's saying the guy said, strip club, take me to the animal shelter. The guy said, strip club, take me to the animal shelter. What? Tyrone says this. Tyrone says, yes, we got better tackle than Jones. Cook, Dunker better than Isaac. We also got great depth this year. Is Dunker better than Isaac? Siamalu? Like,
it's hard to say a rookie's better than a vet. He's played at a high level for a long time. Yeah, Siamalu's plays deteriorating. He had that injury. I'd still say he might be better now. By midseason, maybe if Dunker plays and develop rights, he could surpass him. But for me, it's kind of hard to say, because even though he didn't play his best last year, he was still battling through injuries. That's a tough one. Put it at close, maybe, but yeah, I haven't seen Dunker play at this level. You're just basing it off of a guess in projecting and how he's going to go into the NFL. I don't know. I would say it, like if we got Vega, I'd say Vega is probably better than Sayamalo right now. But Dunker, I think that's a stretch.
Yeah, obviously Vega. But guys, let me ask you this. Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say, but we do know this. We do know this. We don't know how he's going to perform, what it's going to look like in the NFL. I'm talking about Dunker. However, we do know what his pregame meal is, guys. This was talked about over the weekend, and we're going to talk about it today. This is what his game day diet is, Mike. We're talking about Dunker, the guy that's a hay tossing champion, two-time hay tossing champion. This guy, Mike. Let's talk about his diet, what he eats going into a game. The night before at 5:30 p.m., he eats 2 to 3 servings of pasta with meat, marinara, bread rolls, 12-ounce steak, and 2 fruit servings. Like that is 5:30 the day before a game.
Wow.
3 servings of pasta, a 12-ounce steak, bread rolls, fruit, all this stuff. Also, Mike, later the night before, around 8:30, 3 hamburgers, 3 baked Lay's, 3 bags of baked Lay's, hydration mix, hot chocolate. Goes to bed 7:15 on game day. 4 pieces of toast, 2 bowls of Wheaties, pancakes, 2 chicken breasts. 9 o'clock, 4 pieces of toast, 1 chicken breast. And then that's all he eats before the game, Mike. And then after the game, double bacon cheeseburger, family cheese curds, onion rings, 3 ranch sides. Dunker eats all the way. All of their he says Dunker eats all their. So I'm like that. To me, that's not impressive. I think of an offensive lineman. I think these guys eat a lot. I think of they're talking about this crazy diet. To me, that doesn't seem too crazy if you ask me. It's a lot of food. However, these guys have to maintain a size. And I mean, you look at guys like Chris Hoke, who was. He was never a huge guy, but he's skinny now. Alan Faneca, not a huge guy, but these offensive linemen, they have to eat to keep that size. A lot of these guys aren't that size. Even the guys with the muscles, Mike, they aren't that size. Once they stop their workout and their diet, they lose all that. So in my opinion, people are talking about how crazy this diet is, this pregame diet that Dunker had. I just kind of assume this is the way offensive linemen ate.
Yeah, it's a lot of carbs, a lot of protein in there for to fuel himself, to have himself ready to go for the games and all that. So you figure like he gets to the pros, he's going to have the same caloric intake, but I guarantee you they're going to be like, all right, we're giving you fucking hamburgers and Lay's potato chips. It's going to be cleaned up a little bit, but he's still going to be putting on those calories, and it's not going to be that weird once you actually think about it. Like the practices, the weight rooms, the games, just eating to recovery, eating to fuel. And like you said, it's not that weird of a diet. I know guys who are like, who go to the gym all the time and they're not that big, but they're still consuming like 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day just because they're burning so much up. They're bigger, they're thicker, but they're not giants like these guys. So it doesn't surprise me.
Just interesting. Again, I keep seeing this come up and people are saying this is the craziest game day workout, the craziest pregame. And I'm thinking, I don't know. This is kind of how I thought that linemen ate. They're big boys. This is what you got to do to keep that size. So again, I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to throw that out there. Let's move on the board, everybody. Let's scoot along to right here. Oh boy. Let's go. I see right where we're at. Let's go to Cody. Cody says this. He says, well, we have 500 linemen now, which is a good problem to have, but also have a new offensive line coach, so can't compare yet. I think that most of the offensive line coaching is still the same. Mike, didn't they keep a couple of guys?
It's all brand new on the offensive line coaching staff. They're all new. Campton and then Jari Evans are the new coaches. Yeah.
Tortilla says Mike doesn't cheat to find the answer. The answer cheats to find Mike. Out of 955 episodes, he only cheated 69 times. Cody says Pat Meyer gone. Super improved. Vegas, that dude's face is disturbing. Wait, whose face is disturbing? Handron says this. Fatanu was a left tackle in college, so putting IMAX at right tackle and 76 at left tackle wouldn't be out. You know what? That's probably going to be how it plays out, to be honest with you, Handron. They may even pull a shocker and move 77 to guard. Gets him away for speed rushers. I don't know, but I mean, that's a thought. It's a thought. Cody says Pat Meyer is the Matt Canada of offensive line coaches. That's right. He did. What did he go up to Buffalo or something? I think Pat Meyer. Was that the guy Derpy knew? One day
I think so.
He was in the group chat. He's like, I know this guy. Let's go right here.
Derpy.
Vegas says if he doesn't make the NFL, he will end up working the tilt-a-whirl at the traveling carnival for sure. Broderick Jones won't be a guard. Somber saying he follows it up by saying he's not mean enough. He likes to get mean after the play. Let's go right here. Vegas is maybe a guard at Walmart. Jamal says Will Howard is better than Drew Allar. Tortilla saying Ryan is doing his best tortilla impersonation. Was I? What was my impersonation? I don't retain, unfortunately. Let's go here to Jamal. He says Tyrone is a traitor. I knew you was a Penn State fan. Also, let's go to Vegas. He says Bro Joe got a QB hit last year on Aaron Rodgers. What the fuck? You looking like a giant can't get right from life. That's true. That is true. Ryan's not sorry. Sauce says if we suck this year, this is the year to do so. 2027 draft is about to be loaded with crazy talent, no matter if we decided to go quarterback or not. Great corners, great receivers, great edge rushers, and great tackles. Vegas says, Cody says, Somber, you will be cool if Mason Rudolph wins. Somber says, troll somebody else, Cody. He says, I'm not even playing your Cody games. Vegas says he's my favorite player ever, but flaxseed oil doesn't work like that. Cody says, you said you don't care who wins as long as it's the best person. Somber says, out of the rookies. So he says, Somber told Cody to go find a bridge to sleep under. You damn troll, he said. Yes, Somber. Okay. Boys to men. Yes. Yes, I remember that. Vegas says I can see Derpy riding a bike like Pee-wee.
Derpy.
You know that bike's actually in Pittsburgh? That Pee-wee's Big Adventure bike? It's actually in Pittsburgh. Somewhere here. I think one of our historic centers hold it, actually. Vegas says he's doing what on Mike? Cody says I'm under a bridge right now. This bum isn't sharing the huff bag. Acts like his life is so hard. Somber, drugs are bad. Okay. Tortilla says this. They're pre-order jerseys. Once he chooses his number, they ship them. I gotcha. Somber says pre-orders. Vegas, he says 00 would be cool if his name was Drew Otto. And John says, I believe Bernard is 84. Saw that somewhere, but not a reliable source. Let me ask you this. Speaking of Jeremy, guys, Roman versus Jeremy for snaps. Again, preseason, I'm sure you're going to see plenty of these two gentlemen. Roman Wilson, who fell down the depth chart, Mike, for whatever reason over the past couple seasons. Now with a different coaching staff, now with different people making the call, how is that going to play out in preseason, Mike? Are they going to be fighting for snaps? Is Roman Wilson going to be in the running to be the third wide receiver on this team? Is Jeremy Bernard, does he have the inside track just because of his talent? I mean, what's going to go down, Mike, between Roman Wilson and Jeremy Bernard? Because at the end of the day, it's not very talked about at the moment, but this is something that's going to have to happen eventually. And again, everything with Roman Wilson at this point is a crapshoot. There's no way to be able to tell what's going to happen with him one way or the other because we don't know what the hell was keeping him out in the first place.
Yeah, we don't know if it was him. We don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the head coach, the quarterback, what or combination of all the above that kept him from playing time. I think right now, Jeremy Bernard is the guy. He is locked in at number 3, and he's going to have to completely shit the bed, look lost and confused out there to not have that spot over Roman Wilson. You know, I think it's a simple fact that they went out. This coaching staff got Bernard, and yeah, there's a clean slate, like they said. But come on, now a guy that's been struggling to get playing time, in 3 years in the NFL against a guy that you drafted in the second round, that you traded up for, and you were raving about during the post-draft selection. Yeah, that screams to me like he has the upper hand in this competition, and he's going to be the guy. And it's just looking at the way he plays, I think he fits well into what they want to do. A tough between the numbers type receiver, a guy who can do it all, who does not drop anything, runs really good routes, had some very inaccurate quarterback play, and still only had one drop last year, had the most off-target throws in college, and had the highest catch rate on off-target throws. This screams like a guy that is going to be playing a lot, because Mike McCarthy said he wanted guys, bigger body receivers, because they have bigger catch radiuses. And if you have young quarterbacks, you want that. And this, even though he's not the biggest guy in the world, like DK Metcalf and Pittman, he can catch those inaccurate passes. He was the best
And
at
that's
it in
something
college.
that
So
you weren't
that's
getting, Mike, out of a Roman Wilson and out of a Calvin Austin. And I've been saying this for years with these guys. You have to listen. If you can't create that separation, if you're a smaller guy, you're screwed in the NFL, Mike. And I think that was the problem with Calvin Austin for sure. And it just might be the problem with Roman Wilson.
It could be. But like Bernard, I think he's going to be that lockdown. He's locked down in that number 3 spot. I think he's going to thrive in that role, and this might actually help Roman Wilson out in the long run.
Like, what could Roman Wilson have done different to this point to have you've gone the other way with what you just said? Because again, there's nothing. What is he doing on his own to put himself in this position, Mike? That he's behind the 8 ball. We still don't know.
We don't know. But based on like when he was out there, when they got the ball in his hands, you liked what he did outside of one play. So what was going on behind closed doors that we are not privy to that allowed him to barely see the field, and when he did, barely be targeted? Now I think he's in a much better situation, one with the better offensive game plan around him, a better coaching staff around him, but also better players around him. He does not have to try and be a number 2 guy. He can comfortably sit right now at that number 4 spot and just go out there and play. He doesn't have to worry about being the guy. Just be in the right spot and get the ball in your hand and make plays like we saw you do for a limited amount of snaps. I think it's going to benefit him by having Bernard out there and be the number 3.
I do too.
And
having a reliable number 2 and a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. So he slots in better into the receiving core than he did under the previous roster construction, because there was really no legit number 2. You were hoping this guy can be that, and this, that, and the other that we've been talking about ad nauseum. Yeah, it's Bernard is definitely the number 3.
Let's jump back on the board, guys. Still a lot to get into here. I don't want to miss out on anything. Right here, Somber says this. He says Tyrod Taylor signing with Green Bay. Also, Mike, this other name coming up next to Vegas is also including Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool is going to the Green Bay camp as well, Mike. Chase Claypool giving it another shot. He just fell apart, and it was bad because I liked him at first. Again, those first 7 games, he faced the whole career off his first 7 games. Again, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
But again, to fall off to the point where you just fall on balls that are being thrown to you. I mean, the guy was constantly, he's going to catch a ball, he's falling down. Like, what are you doing, dude? He was such a talent. Mike, it was almost like on Space Jam when they took the talent from the players and gave it to the monsters. That's what it was like. It was like, bro, where is your talent? What the hell happened?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest mysteries in the NFL. It wasn't suspended for drugs like Martavis Bryant and Josh Gordon. Just dummy. Just $1 million talent with a 10-cent head who, for whatever reason, just couldn't figure it out to do the small little things right. Just go out there and play. Don't try and be like an AB. Just do your job and go the fuck home and make millions upon millions of dollars. And just never, even when he left, he kept doing the same things over and over and over again and couldn't catch on anywhere.
I'm going to be honest. I wish him the best of luck because I liked him.
So do I, yeah.
I didn't like the way he fell off, and I didn't understand it. But at the end of the day, I liked him, and I hope he does well in Green Bay. Let's do scoot along now. I'm going to go right here to Cody. Cody says Holmes pulled a Le'Veon Bell. Justin Fields went to the Jets and just ended his career. That's what people do. That's the equivalent of suicide in real life. When you had enough and you just can't take it anymore, you go to the Jets and blow your brains out. That's generally what that is. But you're right, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Let's go to Somber. Somber says the Ravens are expected to sign veteran quarterback Skylar Thompson. Source says, and Baltimore will likely carry 5 quarterbacks for the time being. I see where this is going, so I'm going to continue. Jamal says backup quarterback is the best job in life. You ain't kidding. If you get that gig, man, you made it, because you don't have to worry about getting your bones crushed, but you're still on the football team. You're not so far out of things. You're kind of in the middle of everything, but you're not really, So again, the money, the job security, backup quarterback. I couldn't agree more, Jamal. Probably the best gig in life, as he says. And John says this Skoranek salary is $2.2 million. I think Eli would be a tad cheaper for sure. Somber says per Rappaport. Somber also says Ravens morphing into the Browns. They kind of are, aren't they? Vegas says the Ravens are the Browns, of course. Let's go here. Han John says rookies will get their numbers on Friday. So they do report to rookie camp Friday, and Han John is saying they will be getting them on Friday. So there you go. We do know that Mad Max is 71 and Eli is 29. We know number 1 pick and number 10 pick. We do know those numbers as we speak. Somber says back into should I say going back on his back to his messenger. Jamal says y'all stretch more than gymnasts. Dunker has never played. How in the hell could he be better than an NFL Pro Bowl guard? Shaking my head. Get real. Of course, going to the Dunker comparison to Isaac Seumalo. Somber says this good thing our scheme changed, and he doesn't have any inside information to share, and that's a big advantage too. A lot of people talked about how predictable the Steelers have become in going out and knowing the plays they're going to run. So again, not much tape on the new coaching staff, at least here in Pittsburgh. So that should be able to be used in our advantage. But however, you could say the same about Cleveland and Baltimore as well, as they are under new coaches as well. So something to keep in mind when making that point. Let's do scoot ahead. Cody says, I see Seumalo was a bum. He says every time they showed the broadcast, he was getting pancaked. Vegas says, and he mixes in the Diet Coke to wash it all down.
You have to. Got to wash those calories.
Let's go here to Scott. Scott Atkins says this. He says, I just want to see the Steelers score more than 7 to 10 points by halftime and get the youth in early. Then the last game or garbage time to become a younger and become a perennial contender. Cody says, damn, sounds like Mike's Sunday morning. We were talking about the Dunker diet. He says that sounds like Mike's Sunday morning.
Not anymore, bro. Not anymore.
Oh, that's right. You're on a diet.
Lifestyle change.
Dwindling away to nothing. You are. Look at you.
Only lost a pound last week. Only down a pound last week. I'm disappointed.
It's the right direction, though, right?
It is.
Scott says this. He says Dunker is going to be dunking the Ratberg's defensive line for the next 10 years.
I sure as fuck hope so.
Dunker, Mike, he says this. This is a side note that I have when we talk about Dunker. I did bring it up before. Dunker says, Mike, you could not be more excited to hear Renegade. That was a quote. He says, I could not be more excited to hear Renegade. He says, I can hardly contain myself just thinking about it, Mike. So a lot of people, this rookie class, is it safe to say they're kind of growing on you in a way?
Yeah. Like they all seem like they're happy to be Yinzers.
Yeah.
They want to be here and embrace the team. I'm watching stuff on like their social media and stuff on TikTok. They're all just like embracing Pittsburgh, embracing the Steelers, embracing the town, the culture of everything, and they all seem genuine about it too. And like they're ready to get in here and do the work. I'm excited to see them out there, man.
Absolutely. Somber says progress is progress. Mike, keep it going. He says I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
There you go. Let's go here to Tortilla. He says, bro has probably eaten over 100,000 cheeseburgers. Who, Mike or? Let's go to Sass. Josh says this. He says, Ravens former quarterback, legend Skylar Thompson. It's over. He was the next time. As long as you don't have to go to Europe anymore. Remember, he got jumped or ganked or stabbed or whatever the hell happened last year. Who goes to Ireland and gets beat up?
Skylar Thompson does, and that's Tater Tard beat him up.
Let's go here, Cody's. Now I'm gonna scoot down just a little bit. Yeah, Cody says if I ate all that, I'd be keeps moving on me. And I totally lost my spot. Okay, Cody says this because if I ate all that, I'd be the size of Derpy. Let's go to where are we at here? Tyrone, I'm back. What I missed? Not too much, man. Welcome back. Somber says Raven signed Skylar. That's about it, Ty. There you go. Skylar Thompson, who looked fantastic in preseason last year. But again, that's just something we have to remember. The guy looked fantastic in preseason against second, third, fourth string defenses, guys that aren't going to be in the league moving forward. So again, he played well. Let's go. Somber, he says they currently have 5 quarterbacks over there. I knew they had 4, so yeah, I guess, geez. They are the Browns, aren't they, Mike?
They are.
Let's go to Mike Nem. Mike Nem, 9077. I do want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board, Mike. He says this. I figured that's why offensive linemen tend to lose so much weight after football. They just eat normally. That's it, too. You see so many. Look at Pouncey. Come on. And Pouncey looks like, he's skinnier than I ever have been in my life. The dude was an offensive lineman and a pretty damn good one. Vegas says the dude Tortilla has up. Also, Tyrone says Dunker only competition is Hoffman. To be honest, I think he beats him out. I just hope everybody can stay healthy too.
Yeah,
I mean, a couple of injuries can kind of F things up along the way as well, guys. Think about the offensive line. If we don't have great depth at any of these positions, I know wide receiver certainly getting better, but what's the depth look like at some of these positions that had holes? An injury or two kind of changes the table a little bit here, guys. Which and it's very possible. You hate to say it, but it's very possible in the NFL. Let's go here. Tyrone says, laugh my ass off. Jake Jamal, a fake fan, Steeler fan. Let's go here to Sommer. He says that left guard spot is interesting. Anderson is the previous regime's guy. Hoffman has history with McCarthy, and Dunker is a mesh of both. You're right. That left guard is going to be really interesting. Ty says there's no competition. He's saying there. Right here, Tyrone says Roman will be wide receiver 4 if lucky. Sommer says Bernard will be wide receiver 3. I think Roman will be fighting for wide receiver 4 snaps. Cody, they both mid. I don't know who will win that one. Cody, Tyrone says, Cody, shut up, hamster. Shut up, hamster. Tyrone says this Bernard will pass Pittman by week 10. More catches and yards.
Ooh, that's a
hot take.
That's a hot take. I can see it though. And that's not a knock against Pittman. It's just the way teams might, scheme to try and shut down their outside receivers and just gang up on those two and let the younger guys try and beat them. It could happen.
Let's go right here to Cody. Cody says this one of those wide receivers scored a touchdown on JPJ. Not going to say which one, but that one will probably win. Let's go here. Good afternoon. Hey, John, dude. Always great seeing dude on the terrible board. He says, good afternoon, fellas. Great seeing you, dude. Welcome back, dude.
What up?
Cody says one of those receivers. Okay, we got that one. One of those wide receivers scored a touchdown on the Steelers' best corner, Tyrone. I must have missed a couple here. He says this. Roman stats in the NFL. -5 catches, 1 touchdown. Or 5 catches, 1 touchdown, 800 water field. Dude says, I like Claypool. Did he turn into a head case? He turned into something. I don't know what the hell that was. It was just a total meltdown. He went from, again, those first 7 games for the Steelers, I thought, we got a guy here. We got some talent moving forward. And then he just was unable to do the simple things. Mike, the things that you should be able to do consistently, like catching a ball between your 2 hands. That became difficult. He started folding up and falling and doing all this weird shit where I'm not going to say I've never seen anything like it, but it was rough. It was rough to watch.
It was too. It just seemed like he was like disinterested about everything too.
Yeah.
With the game of football.
And you really think I kept thinking to myself, it's going to get better. I mean, this guy has mad talent. There's no way. There's no way he's going to let this
It never
get
got
wasted.
better.
He just never got better. That was what was the worst part about it for me. Ty says, can't wait. Bet can't wait. Also, Vegas says in the mini stripper standing on the shelf behind you, Vanilla. Mike, what is going on? I was going to ask you the other day. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what's going on the shelves behind you there? You got a picture that something that says poop on it.
Yeah, coffee makes me poop.
Coffee makes you poop. Okay.
Yeah.
What else? What else you got?
We got a Steeler mug back there, a big old Steeler mug. We got our Bubby Brister and our oh god, who? Not Tim Worley. The running back. He was on the show.
Yeah, Tim Worley.
Yeah, Tim Worley. Yeah, my bad. We got Tim Worley. We got the big old picture from our first run.
Oh, that's right.
Ryan and I as babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan's in the girl dress. Let's throw that out there.
And you got to remember that, Mike, that we only did 11 shows in our first season. So you know, whenever we say we did 1,005 seasons, we basically did 1,000 shows in 4 seasons.
Yeah,
if you think about it, because we had 11 in the first series. So
that's wild. Yeah.
And then there's something that says scream. What's going on? What's that scream?
It says I don't always scream at my TV, but when I do, the Steelers are on.
Okay.
Got a fireball thing down there. Got a big old flask. Got an autism thing for my kid. You know, just a bunch of stuff.
All right. Let's get back on the board, Mike. I have a couple more topics we're going to get into as the show's kind of rounding thirds, kind of sort of do stick around. We have a lot coming still, guys. Let's go right here to Cody. Cody says this. Nope. But one thing everyone can be sure of: TJ Watt will be on the right hand side. When you're right, you're right, Cody, and I hope you're wrong. I hope the new coaching staff changed that. It seems to me like Coach Graham is really excited, Mike, to do a lot of different things with because you got to think about it. What Coach Graham had in Vegas compared to the TJ Watts and yes, he had Max Crosby. I understand that, but Ramsey and the whole way down, it's definitely a lot better defense. I think, Mike, on paper, certainly than the Raiders have. And I could see how Patrick Graham is just chomping at the bit to get out there and see what he could do with this group of guys. I'm super, super fired up about this.
Me too. Like, you look at his stats, you're like, some of those defenses, like, oh, but then you look at the talent that he had on them, you're like, the overall talent, like, oh, okay. Now you give him our talent, those expectations should be high, for where we kind of finished last year and players that we have and like his coaching. So there's no excuse for us to not be top 10 in everything on defense.
All right, let's go to Mike McCann. Let's go to Mike Nem. I'm sorry, the pronunciation. He says Ratbirds picking in the trash for Pavi. Yeah, I can't believe I can't believe what's going on over there, Mike. They are turning back into the Browns.
It's great. I love it.
You love to see it. Slumber says progress is progress. Keep going, Mike. Proud of you. Vegas says this: if you're serious about losing weight fast, eat a pound of raw chicken, Mike. You
I thought of that, but then I thought better of it. I did not want to shit my brains out.
You would lose weight.
You would. Like I've thought about taking a laxative just to clear out the system, and it'll help jumpstart a little.
Can you please take a laxative, Mike, just for the show?
Fuck no, because I know how it gets when I do get like the flu or food poisoning. It's debilitating. I don't want.
All right. If you change your mind. John Dude says this draft day shock is wearing off. I do also want to see say what's up to Gigu. Gigu is saying that Wawa is better than Sheets. Listen, I can't say because I've never even brought myself to going to a Wawa. But I know that everything at Sheets is good. So maybe one day I'll have Wawa. But I do know that everybody on the eastern side of the state is all about the Wawa. Yeah. Of course, Sheets is over here. Chrysophus said this. He says, if Roman can't play special teams, bye-bye. I don't want any more midget wide receiver who can't get open. You know what? Game ball. That's a game ball.
It's a game ball.
Dude says, good luck with the diet. The plateaus are the hardest.
Yep.
No, Mike just mashes those down and eats those too.
Along with my feelings.
Steel Loyal says might be tripping. Does Mike look a little slimmer? Keep it up. Maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know. I don't look at him.
Down 17 pounds.
I haven't
in
even
like
looked
a
at
month, in just over a
looked at
month.
Mike in a year. Let's go here. Tyrone says agree. Mike's the goat. Let's go. Vegas says black makes you look slimmer unless you're Mark Caboli. All right.
Ain't nothing helping that.
Also, Tyrone says Claypool sold his soul to the TikToks. Somber said valid. Tortilla says Claypool sold his ass for 7 games. You know what? There were 7 impressive ass games, but that was it, man. Somber says coffee equals shit. It sure does, as Mike's cup does say there. Steel Loyal says that sign say Autism Avenue. Autism Avenue.
Yes, it does.
And well, hold on. And then he says, "Oh, never mind." He goes, he says, I feel bad now because I
Don't
thought it
feel
was a
bad.
big. No, because Mike is as autistic as anyone. So
as my kid, you know, like the one guy at work says, he's like, like son, like father. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Right. It runs in the family.
Yeah. I wouldn't apologize. Let's go to this. Big Ben have cancer, maybe is what he's saying. Tortilla says, is that a drug? Tortilla says, asking if Big Ben got the cane on. I'm not sure what that was referring to.
Right now.
Let's see. Let's go here to back to Mike. Mike says this. He says, I can count 9 offensive linemen on the roster without even getting to Broderick. But they're, yeah. But do we have, yeah. I mean, Spencer, we do. Let's just. I mean, there's not going to be that many left coming down to camp, Mike. And again, I mean, are we happy with the depth? Or are we happy with? We feel that we have 5 guys that can consistently be the offensive line, and then also have depth for each of those 5 guys. I mean, that would roughly have you around that many players. But just an interesting. Again, I just wonder what everyone thought. Did we do enough? Did we do enough to improve the line? Again, we're going to be playing Houston's. We're going to be playing. Matter of fact, we get Houston again. We get them as we have the AFC South. We're going to be facing that defense. We're going to be facing the Browns defense twice this year. So again, these answers or these questions will certainly be answered. Tyrone says, y'all crack me up, I swear. Tortilla says, everything is bigger in autism. Ty says, we got good depth, to be honest. A few questions, Mike, a few different topics I'm going to get into here. Let's go. Do you want to start on the I'm going to start on defense, matter of fact. Let's go to this. This came up over the weekend. No, let's talk about this one, Mike. Herbig is getting his contract worked on as we speak. This morning. This was a topic on some articles that I was reading. Nick Herbig in talks for his extension on his contract, Mike. JPJ is just around the corner. You have to feel that that's coming up very, very soon, very shortly. Mike, with this situation with Nick Herbig, in his contract, he's going to get his extension. He's going to make a lot of money. But how does this play out moving forward with Alex Highsmith and with TJ Watt, both making a lot of money? I mean, especially TJ Watt making quarterback 1 money, Alex Highsmith making his money. What's going to give it? Again, this is almost not logical to carry 3 starting edge rushers because you're going to be paying a lot of money to these 3 players. The nature of the game, 2 of them only get to play at 1. I mean, yes, you could have a 3rd one in there. Mike, how does this whole thing end out coming out when it comes down to the Highsmiths and the TJ Watts? Now that we're talking about Nick Herbig's contract extension,
it's going to be Alex Highsmith's got to be the odd man out. His contract is the easiest one to get out of. The owner's already saying TJ Watt's going to be a Steeler for life. Okay, so as much as a lot of us want to see him and that contract go, it's not going anywhere. So Alex Highsmith's going to be the odd man out. We're going to end up having to eat dead cap space next year on his contract's only $5 million and his cap hits $21 million. So we're going to save around $15-16 million in cap space right there. So he's the odd man out next year. So you'll have Watt and you'll have Herbig. And, unless Cam Hayward hangs it up too, and you're able to keep those 3 around for at least 1 more year. But depending on how well Cam plays and if body feels well, he might come back too. So, you definitely are looking at Alex Highsmith, odd man out, even though it should probably be TJ Watt. Makes the most sense production-wise and financially-wise. But when the owner says, I want this guy to stay here, he's going to stay here. So logically, next man down on that totem pole is Alex Highsmith. He's going to be gone. You can guarantee he's going to be gone next year.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of players would love to have him, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas is going to be knocking down the door when it's
Right,
all
yeah.
said and done. They want defensive players bad. We'll see how that all plays out for Dallas this season, Mike. Tyrone agrees with you. He's first off, he says this. I was going to ask y'all since Herbig getting paid, Highsmith is gone, right? And then he agrees. Says Mike 100%. Mike also about this defense. This name popped up, and again, I don't know if it's pure speculation or if there's any inside weight being held to this, Mike. But this name, I would not hate coming back to Pittsburgh, Mike, for a little depth at the position that I think that we need depth at. Certainly at this point, Mike, as the inside linebacker, I read in an article this weekend that Landon Robert would kind of fit in with what we have going. Listen, not to be the savior of the day, but you still do have Peyton Wilson. You still do have Patrick Queen. You still do have Cole Holcomb. You still do have things going on. You added a Landon Roberts to that, Mike. I thought Landon Roberts was fantastic when he was here last time. The guy's a hitter. He gets his hat on the ball. Yeah. He gets in the holes. He makes a lot of tackles. At the end of the day, Mike, you're talking about depth at a position that, again, I feel isn't maybe another position that we didn't really address this offseason. If you think about it, Mike, those middle five spots, your nose, your two tackles, and your two inside linebackers, this is where the running up the gut, it happens. Mike, adding a Landon Roberts to that inside linebacker core, just by what he brings to the table. Again, Mike, he knows where the ball is. He sees the ball. He gets to the ball. He puts a hat on the ball. He makes a lot of things happen. Depth piece. Landon Roberts, Mike?
I like it. I like to bring him back. I understood last year, like, hey, let's maybe get younger. Lee Harrison, he provides depth to go inside, outside, can't play the run. Let's move on from Landon Roberts. It didn't work out. Okay, I have no problem bringing him back in. I like him. Like, he's a steady influence on that defense, and he still played well last year too. He played all 17 games, 90 tackles for them, for the Raiders.
He's a baller, dude.
Yeah, he's still a baller. Yeah, I like him. Bring him back in, and he has familiarity. Oh my God, easy for you to say with what Graham wants to do on the defense. So I have no problem bringing him back for one more run with this team. Let Malik Harrison go and see what he has. See what a Carson Bruner has too out there. Just two guys that will just find the ball, hit the ball. Just don't let them have to worry about dropping the coverage. Just go and crush the running back or crush the quarterback. So let him go.
Yeah, I like it. Again, Mike, for what it is, you're not going to be paying the guy a lot of money. He's still a free agent, and there's the familiarity that you talked about, and also, Mike, on top of that, the familiarity with the team that's here. A few of the guys still around the organizational locker room, all those kind of things. I would love. Again, at this point, you're not getting great things off of the out of free agency, but if you could grab a guy like a Landon Roberts, who's certainly been proven, Mike, and again, he puts a hat on a hat. This guy does not veer away from contact. I love what he brought to the table. Again, you're not getting linebacker one out of him, but at this point, you're still getting damn good inside linebacker play, and he could go a long way. Again, Mike, a lot of there's a lot of physicalness about him. Yeah. He's not afraid to be physical. And sometime in the middle of the field, you need that banger in there. And you know who's another one? Was who was the white guy we lost that's been moving around the league?
Spillane.
Spillane was another one. These guys are good depth pieces to have. You want somebody that's going to get their head in there and put a hat on the hat. These are the guys that get it done. I've been happy to see Spillane have been successful since he's left, and same with the Landon Roberts. Either one of these guys fall into that category for me, Mike. If you want to have an extra body as a head in the middle of that defense, just try to stop the run. A Landon Roberts, either one of these guys, Mike. But I would love to see Landon back. Give him one more year. Give him a little bit of money and let him see if he can help stop the run up the middle.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, you bring him in, you have him throughout training camp, and if he doesn't look the part, look up to it. Okay, easy fucking cat casualty at that point. It's not going to fuck over your team or your defense. And if he works out, even better. It's a win-win situation. Bring him in tires see if he has anything left in the tank for one more year, because it looked like he had a pretty good year last year with the Raiders. He seemed to be like one of the lone bright spots on that team.
And finally, Mike, Y.A. Black admits last year he hit a wall he hit a wall in his rookie season. You play high school, you play about 10 games. You go to college, you play 12 games. And Mike, you get to the NFL, you play 17 games against the best competition that you're ever going to face in your whole life. It didn't surprise me. Again, I think that it happens more than people like to admit. YA Black coming out. I like the honesty in a man. He comes out and says, Mike, I ran into a wall last year. So again, you see that thing amongst the youngsters. So a lot of people are expecting some of these youngsters to step in and help save the day. Look at a guy like YA, Mike. He ran into a wall part of the way through the season. These things happen.
Yeah.
So we're expecting the dunkers and these guys to step up and be a guy that, and I think it's going to happen for a lot of these guys. But at the end of the day, you got to remember they're kids that never played a 17-game season, and that's just regular season. I'm sure a lot of these kids go off to playing state championships in high school and now college football with the playoffs. But again, Mike, 17, and that's not even including postseason. You have a couple preseason games, then 17 games. Then the postseason. So again, that's one thing that we do have to remember, that a lot of these kids coming out, Mike, they're kids, and they have to get acclimated and prepared physically and mentally for this job. I mean, it's not an easy job.
And it's like you said, the key part there, job. They're not going to hold your hand through everything like they did in college. You're an adult now. It's literally a job, and you have to show up. You have to put it in the work in the weight room, in the film room, the classroom, and all that. And like you said, it starts from even before training camp, getting ready for it, and then it goes all the way through. It's a whole hell of a lot harder, like you said, from college. Even like you see it from guys from like the tippy top programs that are close to being run by the NFL. That's still a fucking massive jump up there, and it is refreshing to hear guys say that. Players don't like to admit that stuff. They want to people. They're afraid it might be seen as an excuse, but it's the fact. It happens. And I remember watching old NFL stuff from like the early 2000s when they started to get behind the scenes. I remember the Texans were telling someone, hey, you're going to plateau at some point. As a rookie, you might have a great first 5-6 weeks. You're going to plateau and dip a little bit. But the key thing is just keep working, keep grinding, and eventually you will play yourself out of it. And you'll get to where you need to be. And that's what's going to happen with these guys. They learn it. We saw Ben's rookie year in the AFC Championship game. He was out of gas by that point. He was done. He was exhausted. It happens to these guys. So, and that's only going to build well for him in the future because he knows now what to prepare for. He's going to hopefully be even better this year than he was last year because now he knows.
Absolutely. I like Black. I think he's going to do just fine. I love his size, and once he turns into that player that we want him to be, and he needs to be, I think he's going to be something. Let me go to Han John right here. I want to say thank you, Han John. I've asked several times today when these numbers come out. This is the rookies' jersey numbers, according to Han John. I'm going to trust his word. I do know that the first one and the last one is correct because I do know this. Let's go through them real quick. IMAX, of course, our number one pick, Mike, in the first round for the Steelers. He's going to go with number 71. Jeremy Bernard, he's going with number 84. Allar 15, Mike. Benny Sco, what are they going to do? They're going to have to fight for this number? I'm not sure, but let me continue on. He has Allar at 15, also Everett at 34, Dunker at 67, Weegan at 21, Nowakowski at 83, Rubio 96, Robert Spears Jennings at 39, and of course Eli at 29. So again, Han John, I do appreciate that. I think I can trust Han John. I have no reason not to. But those are the rookie numbers again. IMAX 71, Jeremy Bernard 84, Allar 15, Everett 34, Dunker 67, Weegan 21, Nowakowski 83, Rubio 96, Robert Spears Jennings is 39, and Eli Heinrich is 29. So there you go, guys. Mike, again, I'm not sure what to make of the 15 and True Allar, but we'll find out, right?
Well, we'll find out and see if that's accurate. And what did Benny Sco have to extract from the young rook?
Yeah, who knows? Let's move along. Christopher says this. He goes, I know it's too early for depth charts, but I can't wait to see the first one and how it changes after training camp, especially at nose tackle on the left side of our offensive line. Absolutely. Me too, brother. Han John says Spillane truck Derrick Henry. Sure did. He probably doesn't remember it, though. I can remember the play just like everybody else. It was fantastic. Let's go here to Dude. Dude says Black is going to be a lot better this season. I think so, and I hope you're right. Let's scoot up here to Christopher says this. He says the season released in a few days. It's usually right in the middle of May, and they were saying it could be a little bit late this year, is what I was reading. Usually right around the 12th to the 14th. They're saying it could be as late as the 18th.
Yeah.
This year. So we're keeping our eye on that here mid-May. Let's go to Han John says schedule will come out after rookie mini camp. Tyrone says, yeah, I don't know about Allar getting 15, but Jeremy Bernard 84 be tough. I like 21. Weegan with 21 is what Somber's saying. And then Tyrone saying Jeremy Bernard with 84, give him superpowers. Let me say what's up to Nick. Nick on the board. Looks like a Greek last name. Familiar with that because I have a Greek last name as well. If it's not, I apologize. Nick says this. Who do you think will be our second best defensive lineman this series? Mike, I'll let you take that one. Who do you think is going to be the second best defensive lineman this season?
Ooh.
That's assuming that, I mean, who are you assuming that number one is? Because Derek Harmon is certainly, and some people are going to say Cam Hayward, which I don't agree. But if that's the route that you're going, I would say that Derek Harmon will be number two because everyone's going to tell you that Cam Hayward is the. Good.
I was going to go Cam Hayward number two, Harmon number one.
So either way, and here's the thing: you're watching the game. What do they tell you at the bottom of your screen at the beginning when they're introducing players? Cam Hayward is 1 out of 36 when it comes to defensive tackles. Yeah, Mike.
Remember that one site last year, PFSN had Clam as the number 2 player in all of NFL, in all the NFL. So
that's what I'm saying. So it just depends on who you're talking to, Nick. I listen. It's going to go one way or the other, in my opinion. And I would love to see somebody pass Cam here eventually, but it's just where we seem to be at this point. I love Harmon. I can't wait to see what he brings this year. Okay, Nick. Awesome. I figured it was, sir. Welcome. Ty says Harmon. 1. I see your breakout year. And also 99. Ty is saying, I guess it's Mike. Unfortunately, we're kind of rounding third base on this show. A few things we're going to get into because, of course, we're not going to do the no problem. Thank you, Nick. And welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. Well, Mike, I'm going to have to listen. I have a plan. Now we don't obviously have to do the trivia today because you screwed everybody out of it by cheating. So now no one gets to enjoy it. So I hope you're happy with yourself. But listen, I'm going to give you an opportunity to make it better. Okay? Are you willing? Are you willing to do this for everybody? I mean, think of Cody. Think of Tyrone. Think of Jamal. Think of Dude. Think of Mark Malone. I mean, come on, you gotta do this. I mean, what?
Let me hear it.
I mean, what's Nick gonna do? What's he and John gonna do if they don't have this trivia every day? I'm just worried about them. That's all. Oh, what's Christopher's gonna do? All right, so you're down.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. We've done this before. We'll do this again. Mike, all you have to do is just simply repeat after me.
I knew it.
And we will have trivia right here today on the Two Dum Yinzers, episode 958. That's right, baby. All you have to do is repeat after me, my friend, and it all fixes itself. Are you down?
You know me. Let's just go. Let's go.
I mean, come on. What's Somber gonna do? I mean, come on. Do you want all these people mad at you? Still loyal.
I'm okay with people being mad at me, but I'll take one for the team, boys.
All right, here we go. Repeat after me. Let's fix this thing and get into some trivia. If Mike will do it, let's do it, guys. Here we go. I say something, you repeat after me. Here we go. You ready? I, Mike.
Am
a dirty cheat.
am a dirty cheat.
And a skunk. There's no limits to what I'll do to win.
There's no limits to what I'll do to win.
The question of the day. I have problems. I'm deeply saddened that my bone-brain behavior. Ruined the fun for everybody else. Even Cody.
Ooh, that one stung.
So this is my punishment. For my stupidity. In hopes that Ryan might bring back the question of the day. In my absent-mindedness.
and my absent-mindedness,
might be forgiven.
and that it might be forgiven.
P.S. I'm a skunk.
P.S. I'm a skunk.
All right, there you go. All right, don't let it happen again. Do you really want to let everyone down?
No, I'm sorry, guys.
All right, guys. Question of the day, Mike. Why don't you go and tell everybody about the website first, and then we'll get right into it.
Head on over to the2dumyinzers.com. Remember, it is redesigned. It is brand newish. I every day check it out. I got the top stories of the Pittsburgh.
Oh, I don't know what happened there,
Well,
but yeah, Mike. Mike, can you hear me?
I am back. I don't know
you
how
need my
happened there.
assistance.
I'm here. I've come back from the void, but check out the2dumyinzers.com. All the fun stuff's over there. Merch stores, links to socials, top Steeler news stories of the day that get discussed on the show. Check it out, everyone. The2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, guys. Lots of cool stuff over there. And as I was saying last week, it's got a whole new facelift. Mike really did a lot of work over on the website. Go check it out today. www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Looks really nice. It really does.
Thank you.
Let me grab a couple messages and we're going to get into this trivia of the day. Benny's going anywhere. Laugh my ass off is what Cody's saying. Let's go here to Hand-Drawn Hanson says Eli can do everything Benny Sko can and do it but cheaper. Christopher says this: why Black needs to live in a hobbit village where when every time he bends over to enter a door, he hits his head, so he will learn to get lower. Leverage is everything in the trenches. You ain't kidding.
Yep,
You are not kidding. That is so true. Jamal says, laugh my ass off, you dirty skunk. Laugh my ass off. Even Cody. Tyrone said, Ryan is fucked up for this. Mike is the MVP. Mike, you did pull it off. Not many people thought that you were going to be able to do it. He ain't here. Ty says he got hurt and was a free agent. Laugh my ass off. Follow my voice. Christopher says the answer is Bill Belichick. Ain't here regardless. Hand-Drawn, I like Benny. Just Eli Moore. Time for question of the day. Mike, put on your thinking caps. Everybody at home, everybody on the board, put your thinking caps on as well. Here we go with question of the day. Here we go. In his first seasons coaching the Cowboys and the Packers, did Mike McCarthy coach his teams to any winning seasons? It's a yes or a no. And I'm talking about the first years coaching Green Bay and the first year coaching Dallas. Has Mike McCarthy ever had a winning season in his first season coaching a team? Mike, what's your thought process? It's a yes or a no.
I know. I'm trying to go back and remember his tenure in Dallas because I know he had a decent amount of winning seasons, had a couple losing seasons there. I'm going to go with no.
Go with no. He's never had a winning season with either of those teams. To start off his career.
That first year. Yeah. I'm going to go with no.
All right. Let's look on the board now that you said no. No is your final answer, correct?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to lock you in on a no. You're locked in. Let's go to Somber. Eli isn't hitting motherfuckers like Sko. Stop that. You got to remember, Sko was a Pro Bowler last year too, guys. He had a really good season. Hand-Drawn says yes. Tyrone says yes. Dude says yes in Dallas. Also, Tyrone says, fact, Somber, Eli hasn't even touched the NFL. Guys, so a few people, Mike, they're guessing yes on the board. You're saying no. The question is this: in his first seasons coaching the Cowboys and the Packers, did either one of those first seasons were they a winning season? And Mike said no. Both of those starts, they didn't start by way of a winning season. We'll take a minute. Throw your guesses up on the board if you think that you got it. If you don't, just throw a guess up. We'll get that in just a moment. Dude is saying yes in Dallas. Take another minute or so. Tomorrow, Mike, I was going to go over my first pitch plan today, but we kind of ran into time. I'm going to go into that tomorrow. I have a whole plan. I'm going to try to get us throwing out a first pitch at a Pirate game this summer, but I have a plan. So I'll get more into that tomorrow. I don't want to get into it today. It's going to kind of be rushed, and I don't want to rush it. I have a good plan. Also, Mike the Goat Tie is saying. And John says you heard it here first then. All right, guys, question of the day. In his first seasons coaching the Cowboys and the Packers, Mike McCarthy, did he have any winning seasons? Was either one of those teams his first year a winning season? Mike says no. Mike, you are correct. Neither one of them were a winning season. The Dallas season, for Dallas, he went 6-10, had 3 12-5 seasons to follow, and he was 8-8 his first year as the Packers, a Packers coach. I'm sorry, Packers coach 8-8. First year as a Cowboys coach 6-10. He did not start either of those teams. His tenure with either of those teams with a winning season. But if he's going to complete the trifecta, Mike, being a horse racing week, what is it called? Is it a trifecta or is that
crown?
A triple crown? Mike, he could finish the triple crown by having a winning season with the Steelers his first year, giving him 1 winning season, 1 losing season, and 1 500 season. Mike, I'm just saying it's triple crown weekend. We had the horse races this week, Mike, and I think you could remember because so there you go, guys. Don't get too discouraged that he's never had a winning season in the first year coaching any of his pro teams. Like he can complete the triple crown this year, and go 1-1-1. So that's what I'm hoping for. Best case scenario for us. Christmas says yes, he had Aaron Rodgers at Green Bay and he had Dak in Dallas. So there you go. Somber says rigged. See, Mike don't cheat is what Ty is saying. Hand John says this Allar 15, Sco 15 in TB. What all we got, Mike? I want to ask you this: what's your thoughts on today's show?
The Howard Allar debate is going to go on for not just the offseason, but I think the whole entire season as well, as to who should be quarterback 3, who should be quarterback 2, who should be quarterback 4. Could we sneak one of these on the practice squad? But I kind of can't wait till training camp to get an idea of where these two are right now, and see how they play in the preseason, and kind of get a feel, like I said, not only for how they look now, but kind of projecting how they're going to look into the future as well. It's going to be a debate that's going to rage on and on and on for as long as they're both here. I think even if one of them moves on from the Steelers in the next year or two, that debate's going to rage on and on. Like, oh, did we get rid of the wrong guy? Did we keep the wrong guy? It's going to be interesting. And it's going to be split between partisan lines of OSU fans, PSU fans, maybe Pitt fans get in there in the middle too to stir up the pot. But it's going to be interesting between those two. And to see what way the Steelers lean. And does one get favored more than the other? Or is it truly best man win? We're going to base this off of merit.
All right, there you go. Mike's thoughts for the day. I'll grab a couple more messages here, guys. Ty, I left myself stop at Hand John. One guy I can believe. Tyrone, Ben Sco, Pro Bowler baby, and also Mike. Mike says this: between the two right now, Howard should be ahead of Allar, right? I mean, you would think. I mean, he was obviously been a pro a little bit longer. Yes, the injury didn't allow him to participate as much as we would have liked, but just having that knowledge, a whole year's worth of knowledge, being in the pros, different coaching staff. So, I mean, that kind of evens the playing field a bit. But I would say that at this time, Will Howard slightly has an edge. And John says on another staff's team, not the current one. Exactly. So that is all. Good point, Mike. Good take on today's show. I do want to say a couple things before we do start getting ready to wrap things up for the day. I want to say we're on 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30, 3 o'clock even p.m. right here on the Tube. Also, guys, a lot of sports, Mike. As I mentioned, we had the Pirates, the Passion, the Hounds, the Riveters coming up, UFL football, guys. All the sports I know makes me want to drink, and when I do always stop by and get some Duquesne Pilsner. Mike, now available in 6 and 12 packs in at the Eagle. Also, you can get it in cases wherever cases are sold. Mike, the people at Duquesne Pilsner always help us by way of promotions, and we couldn't be more grateful. So we just ask to, maybe if you're not even a drinker much, or don't like to drink, swing over to their social media, follow them, get some likes. I'm sure it'll help. But if you do, swing by and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. We always have it on tap here in the studio for every occasion, Mike. It is made right here in Pittsburgh, brewed in Pittsburgh. Mike, it says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
So grab that. Go grab that Duke, baby. A few other things before we do wrap things up for the day. I do want to say this. We could also go check our social media out. We're all over the internet. You can check us out on Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Also, you could Google us. A lot of stuff under that as well, and even AI. I find some interesting stuff about us when I do AI some things, so you could have some fun with that as well, guys. Also, I do want to say this: if you haven't had a chance yet today, do hit the like button down below, if you will. Hit the like, the sub, the share, even a comment. It all helps in the algorithm, guys. We couldn't be more thankful. Thank you so much. Let me grab a couple more of these messages, Mike. We are going to get ready to wrap it up for this Monday installment of the show. Was there WrestleMania or some kind of wrestling? Was it this week or last week or
WrestleMania was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't follow it like I used to, and I seen somebody say something about WrestleMania. I thought, did I miss it? Did I miss the whole? Because it's a whole weekend now. It's not even just an event. It goes all weekend.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weekends ago.
Okay, so there you go. If you're into wrestling, that's back on tonight. Let's go to a few more here, and we're going to take off. Han John says, on another man, we did get this. Tyrone just got off. Love you guys. Great show, you bastards. We thank you. We love you too, Ty. Take care, my friend. Also, dude, see you tomorrow, fellas. Thank you, dude. You as well. Blessings to you, Somber. And Christopher says, if he fails with what we have now, we will be searching for a new coach and a new quarterback next year. Sounds about right to me. Few things. What else do I want to say? I want to say thank you so much for everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. I want to say this as well. Thank you, everybody on the board. You guys always keep everything interesting here on the show. That will never change. You are the lifeblood of this show. That's what it's all about. We thank you endlessly. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody at home as well. Maybe you're at the work, maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're in the car, listening, watching, whatever the case may be. Thank you too. Thank you so much to everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Unfortunately, Mike, there's no Pittsburgh sports today. The Pirates have the day off, starting that series against Arizona tomorrow. Passion, the Hounds, everybody not till the weekend, Mike. So today it might be a day to get some stuff done with this 71-degree weather. We'll take it and then wrap the day up with some wrestling, if you will. So guys, we want to say thank you so much for everything. As always, you guys are awesome. We can't wait to see everybody tomorrow. Mike, what's your thoughts as we are wrapping this up for the day?
Great show, fellas. I had a good time. You guys are fun. I'm glad I could save trivia for you guys. That's why I'm here to save trivia for you. I can't wait for training camp to start. I can't wait to get outside and enjoy the sun too. This would be, if I like going to baseball games, this would be a day to go for it. So if you like baseball games, go to baseball games. Don't go to the park. Go do something outside and fun, especially if you're here in the Pittsburgh area, because it's going to get cold and nasty in the next couple of days. Let's have some fun today, boys.
And dude, thank you, Somber. Somber says, don't forget to like the stream. We appreciate you, sir. Hand says, I'll stand by my my numbers until when or if they are not correct. Christopher's Mike McCarthy. Again, guys, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. We can't wait, Mike, and it's going to be all Steelers because, again, there's not much other else going on with our Pittsburgh sports through today. It'd be nice to have Derpy tomorrow if he could somehow go with the flow for once. I'd love to have him and you duke it out, Mike, as both your favorite college teams have quarterbacks that are fighting for an important role on our Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see if we can make that happen. Other than that, we'll be back at our regular time tomorrow to do it all over again. Mike, I'm going to swing around to you. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, my friend. We want to thank you so much. Again, thank you to everybody for everything. Thank you so much. I really feel like I'm forgetting something. That's why I keep kind of stretching it on. But I at some point, I'm just going to have to stop this stream, guys. I'll remember it as soon as we get off. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy this nice weather. Again, enjoy your rest on the night, whatever you do. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Until then, Christmas says, are those cans behind you empty? One, just one at the very top is empty. Jamal, gang, we appreciate you too, Jamal. So thank you for everything, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We'll see everybody tomorrow for Derpy, for Finch, for Chop, for RB, for Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great, safe Monday. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.